This is a No Frills podcast. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, and I am the host. Joining me today, his name is Gadget, and he is the editor and co-host.
Beep bop beep boop.
Her name is Candy, and she is the co-host and science expert.
It's true. Hello, Dr. Bergen, if you don't mind.
And his name is Stig. He is the co-host and cinema guy.
That's me, cinema guy, huh?
The co-host and journalist Biggie is not joining us this week because he didn't want to. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You can't be monotone.
I just can't be bothered. The reason I've done that little script there is because tried to listen to a few new podcasts this week to like broaden my horizons. They're all like that. They're all like that. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is John and this is Barry and this is Keith. How are you guys doing? Fuck off!
They sound nice.
Slag your fucking co-hosts off.
They're either dead boring or it's those kind of bro podcasts where it's...
Oh, bro. That's so Sigma of you to say.
I hate bro. People say bro too much. It's so annoying. Bro. Wait, bro. I'm like, fuck off.
Bro.
Oh wait, I'm good. I've bought two things this week.
Yep.
One is a little kitten. His name is Louis.
I love him.
He's half Bengal, so he's got those nice little tiger stripes and big fat chunky paws.
Yeah, I do like that about him.
So yeah, we our cat passed away about a month ago, and we have always had a cat. Like Kate and I have always had cats. So from literally when we were born, we've gone into houses with cats and always had them. Even when we moved out together, we adopted my brother's cat. So we've always had, and it just felt wrong not having a cat.
Yep.
So decided we'd go get another cat.
Huh?
And the other thing I bought this week, Santa came early. Oodles is going to hate me.
Oh no.
Santa brought me a Meta Quest 3.
Oh.
Why did you buy another gimmick?
So, because there's a reason for this madness. I save up every month for Christmas, so I never, ever have to credit card it all. And the kids are always wanting to go on the VR headset, and I've got a really old shit Rift, which means it's got wires and sensors, and it needs setting up every time, and I just cannot be fucked with constantly having to set it up, unplug cables around the back of my PC. It's annoying. It's also not very good because it's an old model. The Quest, they've just dropped the price in all of them. So I went and bought one. So it's going to be...
got, I think. No, he's got the 2.
He's got the Quest 2. Yeah.
So it's going to be they've literally dropped the price by like 30%. Something stupid.
Fucking live, laugh, love MetaQuest, baby.
Yeah. That's going to be their joint Christmas present. I just thought.
So it is for Christmas.
Yeah.
Has Dad done a test?
Yeah, I've tested it to make sure it works. Obviously,
You've got.
You have to.
Yeah,
I did it with his. I had to set his account up.
Yeah, exactly.
Christmas Eve.
So I've set an account up and I've just been playing with it just to see. And it's really odd being able to see through and see the other side because it's obviously got pass-through camera. It's got cameras on the outside, so you can see. You have the screen in front of you, but you can also see what's going on in the real world around you.
Yeah,
which is odd.
Yeah, the Quest 2 has that, but it only does it in black and white, so you don't get that weird side reality thing going on with
trying to tell me the real world isn't black and white?
I think you need to go to an optometrist.
But it's got a cool thing that's that I think Amelia will get use out of, and I might play with it as well. There's a piano app on there, so you can lay it over the top of a piano or keyboard, and the things drop down and teaches you to which notes to hit.
Just get a piano.
That's cool.
Yes,
well, no, it's to teach him how to play it.
Teach you how to play stuff.
How old is she?
She'll be 11 in a few weeks.
I started a year earlier than her. She'll be a virtuoso in no time.
Well, she's getting a keyboard for her birthday.
Yeah, they're worth it. What do you get, a Casio?
No idea. Just some one I got off of Facebook Marketplace. The deal's gonna be, if you stick with this, I'll get you a proper electric piano.
I mean, when she's stuck with it, if she sticks with that, you need to get an electronic piano like mine, where the keys feel like piano.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference.
Couldn't find a cheap enough, and I was like, well, I'm not going to go and spend 250 quid on something.
I remember when I was like
not
12, 13, and I first started. I had just a keyboard. And then I remember my friends at their house went, "Oh, we've got a grand piano. Do you want to play it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to play." And I couldn't do the keys; they were too heavy. I was like, "I'm not used to this." Now, if I play a keyboard, I'll break them. I'm used to pounding them down. So
I'll play my synth when next time you visit.
Yeah, Sims. I can't play Sims, mate. I hammer them. I hammer the fuck out of them. Just used to it. But yeah, that's a good thing you've done.
The Quest did come with the Batman game as well, bundled in.
The Batman game.
The new one coming out.
Nice.
You guys not doing anything? You Santa come to you guys' houses?
No.
Santa is not visiting for a few years after the amount I've had to spend on this house recently.
We're saving for our house, so Santa isn't coming this year.
Oh, good luck. Good luck. Santa never comes to me since the incident, so...
You're on the naughty list.
We don't like to talk about the incident of Santa.
It is generally going to say from Santa, though.
Yeah, because it is. Speaking of incidents and Santa Claus, our Santa Claus is not here today. So, who's going to do Biggie's breaking news?
Oh, it'll have to be me, won't it?
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's breaking news.
We're so glad to see so many of you lovely people here tonight, and we'd especially like to welcome all the representatives of the podcast listeners community who have chosen to join us here on the Modern Escapism at this time. We do sincerely hope you enjoy the show, and please remember, people, no matter who you are, what you do to live, thrive and survive, there's still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, and Biggie's breaking news. Biggie's breaking news. Everybody needs some news. Everybody needs some news to love. Some news to love. Some news to love. Our stories don't miss. Our stories don't miss. Best in the biz. Best in the biz. I need news, news, news. I need news, news, news. I need news, news, news. In the morning, news, news, news. When my pod's on fives, news, news.
I need to retract my statement quickly. Santa did come. I'm sorry, but...
Oh,
your controller turned up, did it?
Yeah, I got a Starfield
Pride
controller,
controller.
listeners.
Go
you watch. Pride one.
No, it's Starfield.
Oh,
I thought you meant my singing.
Yes, that's
Oh, is that what you called that? Singing?
Mate,
Sorry, mate. I thought it was just a monologue.
It's Blues Brothers.
The News Brothers.
Yeah, the News Brothers. It was very much put together last minute.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yep.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
We really got
in
to
its
retire
chaos.
the song.
Beautiful in its chaos.
I think we should do one big song together on our podcast and then just put it to bed.
No, Biggie's already reached out to me with an idea that he wants to do.
Oh
no. Is it a barbershop quartet?
Sort of. It involves all five of us.
Oh, Christ.
I don't sing for free.
We could do it like Frankie Vale. Is it Frankie? No.
Frankie
Valley.
Frankie Valley,
no.
Yeah.
What, like a robot and not moving
Just
my
mime
mouth?
it.
Have you seen those videos of him? Fucking hell, wheeling him out like 91 years old.
Yeah.
Walk like a man, but he's not actually moving his mouth.
He doesn't blink. He does. His mouth just—it's like a robot. Honestly,
There's a little alien inside his head controlling him.
I'm wondering at this point if it is just an animatronic. Like
you do know now you
seasons
mentioned Frankie Valley, you've killed him.
Yeah.
No.
He's
Oodles
alive as of recording.
Oodles, it's when you get drunk and sing Greases the Word on a karaoke. That's what you did to Coolio 2 years ago.
Hey, I fucking destroyed Gangster's Paradise. You were like, that is the best
That's why he
rendition of Gangster's
died.
Paradise I've ever... Yeah, he died by the sword.
That means that at this year's podcast, you need to sing Bad Boy for Life.
I might do. Yeah. Imagine if I've got like sorry if we're on a tangent here, the Death Note where it writes stuff in the book every time I sing about so they just die
Specifically at karaoke.
in karaoke, and it has to be in Peterborough.
Don't tell them where
Anyway.
we're going to be. They'll try and find us.
Peterborough, Alabama.
Yep. Right, anyway, on to the news. We had Sony State of Play for September 2024. It was pretty...
Woke. It was woke.
Shit.
Well, yeah, we got a peek at Astrobot DLC, Power World's inevitable PlayStation version, if that ever does launch. Thanks, Nintendo.
No, it was out that day, I think, wasn't it?
No.
What were it?
Power World.
Yeah, it's out. It's out now.
Okay, the surprise Luna Remastered Collection. Release dates for Fantasian Neo Dimension. Dynasty Warriors.
That was the phone game. That one wasn't it, Oodles?
Yes,
Fantasia.
it's the one where they've all the backgrounds are actually real models,
Right. Okay.
dioramas.
Is it from the Final Fantasy guy?
Yeah. Sakaguchi. Yeah.
Sakaguchi. I can never remember his name.
You'll have to
Sakaguchi.
You'll have to fill me in on some of these because I didn't watch it. We have Dynasty Warriors Origins. Obviously, I'm excited for that one.
It
That
so
does
good.
look fun. It looks
You can
just as
you can
stupid
use
as you
other
wanted Dynasty Warriors.
soldiers.
Yeah,
You can use other soldiers as ramps,
it looks just as stupid as you want a good Dynasty Warriors game to
You
look.
can
but
do
with amazing graphics.
There's like one-on-one battles, isn't there, where you'll fight and the rest of them will like circle around you.
They'll let you do it. You can end a battle if you win a really difficult duel. They all like respect it and like, all right.
I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of Lubu.
And it's called Origins, so it's the origins of Lubu. I reckon.
He'll be there. Oh, he'll be there somewhere. Young Lubu. Just knocking the shit out of everyone. Monster Hunter Wilds.
Which still looks great.
Yeah, Lego Horizon Adventures.
Which still looks pointless.
I'm excited for it.
I actually think it'll be quite fun. The Lego games are
yeah,
fun for people who enjoy them.
No, it's not. It's not the Lego games I don't like. It's the backdrop.
Her.
No, it's not her either. It's just the
Post-apocalypse.
Horizon. The Horizon IP just does not do anything.
It's
fun.
it's not that it doesn't do anything for me. I like the Horizon IP. Like I like the world building in it. It's very tonally dissonant to do a Lego game in it, I think.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited for it. Like, what can they possibly do? Like, I think it's going to be a lot more fun than I got from the actual Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, probably.
Low bar.
Because,
Can't wait for Lego Last of Us.
Yeah, man.
Legitimately would play that.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
yeah, you'd have to build up crates to push Ellie about on, wouldn't you? And then also a bunch of Dragon Age, the Veilguard gameplay.
That was the stupidest thing because they just played a boss fight. Like it wasn't like a smash cut of like different bits of gameplay. It was just a really boring looking boss fight.
I know nothing about that game
Yeah,
or the series.
Dragon Age is about half of them are good.
How old is the dragon?
Many years.
Of age.
52.
Of age, the dragon of age.
And it was confirmed, speaking of Horizon, that the remaster that was rumoured is official. We are getting a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster
Yes.
for some reason, which in some... I've seen screenshots of some of it, and is it me or
Looks
does it
worse.
look worse?
It definitely looks
It does
worse.
look worse.
I don't
They've
understand.
they've like slapped an Instagram filter over the whole thing,
It looks way worse.
and it's they've also upped the price of Horizon Zero Dawn before the remasters come out on PlayStation Network and on Steam.
So is it like a £10 upgrade?
So it's it's £10
You're paying
upgrade,
for a 40 quid game, really.
but they've the price had been discounted down to about £25 on PlayStation Network for ages, and then they've put it up to £35.
Cheeky.
I've owned it for years, and there's no way I'm spending a tenner for an upgrade of a game I didn't really like. I beat because I was pissed off at it.
I never finished it. I just give. I was like...
Mate, the stories on them get, especially this. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but the sequel story just goes to places. It's like, who
Yeah.
wrote this? A fucking 15-year-old.
The first one was good. I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was fine. The second one, it was a slog. Like, I got to probably about like 2/3 of the way through. I'm just not enjoying it, but I'm almost there now. But it was a slog. The end was ridiculous.
Remember when they were saying, like, you've got to get to the Neon City, the mythical Neon, and you're like, it's Vegas. It's definitely Vegas. You get there, oh, it's Vegas.
The DLC for the first one, the Frozen North or whatever it was called, that was really good.
That was good. But that
was
the best bit.
I never finished the main game. I did play the DLC.
Might play the VR game when it inevitably goes to PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 10 people bought it for PlayStation VR.
Yeah, exactly. Only 10 people bought PlayStation VR, didn't they?
Yep. It was bundled in.
9 people.
And then finally, the big showcase was Ghost of Yorte. Sorry, Yorte. Ghost of Yorte is it's a PS5 exclusive. It's a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, set 300 years after Jin Sakai's story. It features a new protagonist called Atsu.
I mean, it was
anything. Does anything scream about the new character? Is there anything that you could say about that
and of
character
course,
that could be
dickheads
problematic?
On the internet are complaining because you have to play as a woman. Why?
What?
And they're all saying, why can't I play as Jin? And even I know, who hasn't even played the game, that game pretty much rounds his story off. And that game also has 2 female, kick-ass characters, samurai characters in it.
Yeah,
so
Yuna.
It just fuck off.
Yeah, female samurais were a thing. There's been recent findings on it.
I'm sorry as well. People keep saying female samurais. She's a Ronin. She's not samurai.
Yeah,
massive difference.
But we know
she's a samurai without a master.
Yeah.
She's a ninja as well.
But on the positive side, the people who really enjoyed the first one, a lot of people saying that this looks great and they're excited for it. So yeah, I'm sure it will be good.
I can tell you. I'll tell you this for free. Out of Sucker Punch's IPs, I mean, it's better than Infamous.
I like the Infamous games.
I didn't.
I played.
I think they were crap.
One of them, and I just thought it was a bit.
Their other games, Sly Cooper, that was good. Infamous was.
See, I didn't get on with Ghost of Tsushima, not because it's a bad game, but because I'd played Sekiro I played Sekiro right before it.
Oh yeah, those two things are not the same.
It's a bit like how I fell off The Witcher 3 because I played it immediately after Bloodborne.
yeah. It's like I'm playing a game with the tightest combat system on the planet, and then Ghost of Tsushima.
I will say, for what I did play,
it's
fucking beautiful. Like, production values off the fucking charts.
Mate. Stunning, babe.
Excited for it? Gonna play it?
Probably not.
See, I'm more tempted with Yotai than I was with Tsushima. And again, I dropped off of that really quite early into the game, actually. Not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because it was, again, just burnt out on massive open world RPGs, and it didn't feel like it was doing anything new enough to keep my interest. But this one, I'm like, actually, that does look pretty cool. So I think I probably will when the price goes down.
The biggest problem with Tsushima is the world is empty.
Yeah. It's a very pretty
empty war
world
out there, so there's
there's in-game reasons.
Yeah,
but
so
it's still empty. Like, people can turn around and say to me, well, you love Mad Max, that's empty. Well, yeah, there's in-game reasons for that as well.
But you've got a car.
But I'm in a car. I'm in a fucking car, baby.
That's one of my issues with so many modern games. Just can't we just sometimes just keep it linear? I'm sure Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
It's gone. I'm sure that would be amazing if it would. Yeah, Ghost. I'm sure that would be amazing if it was just a really tight kind of.
Yeah, I do.
On rails almost game.
Yeah.
Or if you had that small areas of exploration kind of thing that you get in some games.
God of War, for open world. Yeah, that's a God of War. The recent ones hit it perfectly for me, where you can move around and do different things, but you're not having to travel like a huge map like Red Dead Redemption style to get places.
I prefer action adventures where it is linear, but there's multiple ways to complete that linearity, like The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Like, there's a set piece. You don't have to do what you think you have to do. There are ways round.
That's
feel what I prefer.
Some games
it feels open. You don't care about a little
open.
loading screen to next level because you just feel like it's open. Yeah, I'm a bit burnt out with open world games.
Next, Xbox had a few surprise drops. A bunch of games on Game Pass from the Tokyo Show, tying in with its Xbox Tokyo Game Show. Microsoft made a few surprise additions to Game Pass. Thursday just gone. Vintage Square Enix role-playing games, Legends of Mana and Trials of Mana. And Surrealist Roll 'em Up, We Love Katamari. And an adorable and hilarious-looking new co-op game called All You Need Is Help. All now available. Additionally, it was revealed that the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster series, compiling the first 6 Final Fantasy games, is now available on Xbox, but it's not included in Game Pass.
Just buy 6.
I was going to say it's £65 for the full set.
Just buy 6.
Yeah.
Just buy 6. That's all you need.
That's cool, though. Trials of Mana I wanted to play that.
Trials of Mana is a great game.
And now it's on Game Pass.
Never played Trials. I played Legend of Mana, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Trials is not. It's old in modern gaming. How it looks and stuff. It's not a pretty game, but it'll do.
It just keeps giving me that Dragon Quest vibe from the pictures.
All of Mana games are very much this same studio.
Yeah,
it's just
I want something I want something like that because fuck knows when 12's coming out.
12. Fuck off. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd see some at a Tokyo Game Show this week.
Yes, so did I, but sadly...
Nope. They don't care about people that actually care about things. We've just got more videos of Metal Gear Delta, which just looks like a filter to me as well. That is a shot-for-shot remaster.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It pretty much is. It looks nice.
I'll still play it.
I will.
Well, I will probably play it because I'm hoping that they put colorblind filters in so I can fucking see anything.
They've already said that there's accessibility, very many accessibility options.
Great, I can finally play it 20-something years after the fuck
The
it came out in the
colorblind thing
first
won't
place.
be much of an issue anyway because it's not blurry anymore. You might be all right regardless.
It wasn't the motion blur. It was literally the fact that it was camouflage. It was the similar colors, because in that opening section when you're in the jungle, the soldiers are wearing kind of jungle brown and green. Colours. I actually couldn't see them, so I was walking around, and all of a sudden, beep, and then you're alerted.
I want to play a colorblind mode where it's hard.
No, it proper gets on your nerves after a while, and it's just I couldn't play it.
Maybe I'll just, I don't know, blindfold myself and just do it by my ears.
I just had a great idea for the podcast, although let's all turn up in camouflage and see if Gadget can see us.
He's picking me up.
Well, camouflage.
He's going to see his car door open, even if he can't see me.
halfway down the year one, he's just going to look in his back seat and see Oodles' eyes. Oh!
What are you going to fucking camouflage yourself as in fucking West Yorkshire? Pebble Dash Wall.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to disguise myself as. Shut up.
on a slight tangent, sorry, Gadget. Have you ever tried those colorblind glasses?
They're expensive.
So my colorblind, those colorblind glasses only work if you see black and white. I do see color.
They're for the grayscale people, aren't
they? But it's when colors get kind of put together. I can't see the difference between lime green and yellow. It just looks like one color to me. And it's stuff like that. So when it's a game about camouflage, I can't see it.
This is funny because my wife's stepdad is colorblind with red, brown, and green, and he took his dog for a walk once in woods of Michigan. Brought his dog home and was like, "God, you've trailed mud all over the fucking kitchen. I'll clean it up later." Wife walks in and she says, "There's fucking blood everywhere." Dog had cut his paws, and he thought it was mud.
Oh no!
Innit? People don't realise that shit. It's real, man.
Next.
So, what does Kermit look like to you? Is he brown?
No, he's green. If you put him next,
not easy being brown.
If you put him next to a lemon, he'll look the same color to me. That's all.
Yeah, lemons are green, mate.
Looking at Kermit at a lemon, going, "Which one is the lemon? And which one is Kermit?"
Which I can see the shape of them.
It's just like little Kermit the Frog floating around in a big pint of Coke.
No. This is why I don't talk about being colourblind. I guarantee.
Let's take a piss out of his disability.
I guarantee listeners at the podcast, they're all going to go around. What colour's this? What colour's this? Because everyone fucking does it.
Yeah, now colourblind literally doesn't mean that you're blind to colour, does it? It just means it's differentiated.
It means I just can't see the difference between some fucking
He doesn't
colours.
see like a dog candy. Get it out your head.
Oh.
I know you were thinking about it. She's like, if he sees a black and white film, is it in full colour?
Oh my god.
There's a Candyland. Next.
Anyway. Frostpunk 2 sells over 350,000 copies in its opening weekend. The developer revealed that its city-building survival game has exceeded over 350,000 copies in sales. It released on Mac and PC with Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 versions due in 2025. Additionally, 11-Bit said Frostpunk's 2 estimated revenue already covered the cost we spent on producing and marketing the game.
Brilliant.
Great.
Dead happy for them. And that's also with it being on Game Pass for PC.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they've sold 350,000 copies on Steam, and also a load of people are playing, because I'm playing it on Game Pass. It's a fucking great game.
It's the number one game on Mac Store at the moment.
Yeah. Really, really good. And I'm dead happy for them.
It took ages to get rid of Resident Evil 7 on Mac Store as number one game.
It's also just good because, like, games like this need to sell so people make more of them, you know?
Make more Frost games.
Well, no, like city builder, survival games, strategy games, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Developers. Next,
also celebrating a very good sales. Manor celebrates over 2.5 million sales. A new content update. Hooded Horse is excited to share that Slavic Magic's popular medieval strategy game Manor Lords has passed another major sales milestone. Manor Lords has sold over 2.5 million copies, clearing the first million of all those within the first 48 hours, clearing 2 million after 3 weeks. It currently holds an 87% very positive rating on Steam.
I've never even heard of it.
Again, also on Game Pass.
I need to play that.
And people are still buying it. It's
a
city builder. It's really, really well done because it's a city builder, like medieval one where you can obviously build a town and farm. And imagine Age of Empires, like, but you can go into first person view, so you can go down into the city as the Manor Lord, and you can walk around your town and city.
Oh, like Peter Molyneux's new game Albion.
Yeah.
Yes, but this is real.
But good.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Wasn't Manor Lords also a solo dev thing as well?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's like a really tiny team.
It's made by one person, I'm sure, I think. Could be wrong on that, but
if it's on Game Pass, I'm going to get it downloading now.
Yeah, I played like a few. It's actually quite difficult to learn. I was struggling with it, figuring out.
Mate, have you seen what he's been posting on YouTube?
You've got to do things like build the roadway systems properly and build certain things on wetlands so it grows properly and make sure the wells are in the right place. And I was like, I haven't got time to figure this out right now, but I'd like to come back to it at some point.
That game screams Gadget 8-bit.
It does. Manor Lords.
Do you mean I have to manage storage? I'm in.
And then obviously
sewerage stuff I'm not that interested in, but the general kind of plotting and planning. Like I always loved when I was younger, like Sim City and kind of working out how to do a good city, you know?
Yeah.
I think we've just found Gadget's kink that he is Merovingian, really. He likes to
no, I'm the architect.
To control
Vis-á-vis.
I thought Merovingian, you want to control the cityscape completely.
No.
And make people orgasm when they eat cake and stuff.
No, I'm not.
I always do.
Next.
I've got a story about here that's from the past and it's about something that's already happened. So I don't know how to read it. Quidias in real life gaming cyberpunk city Ubar gets its to get first look at Tokyo Game Show. So I don't know, did it like?
I don't know what you said. I don't know what that sentence was.
Candy
so I
posted
put that
it.
in there. Basically, they're building a city in the Middle East that's going to be themed basically fully like a cyberpunk and city based purely for gamers.
Weren't they doing the wall city as well? It was just a line.
That's still supposedly happening, but now it's only
What
about
are they
3
doing
miles.
over there?
It's apparently only 3 miles wide as opposed to about 3,000.
Making dystopian gaming
Focus
cities.
on human rights first before you make cities.
Yeah, they're not
Sorry.
big fans of that.
Real life Cybertropolis, epic rewards and stage programming with special. What the fuck? So they're building a cyber. This isn't gonna happen.
I wish I had oil money.
That's the thing. It's all these Saudi princes, and there's about 100 of them that have
Well,
just now
billionaires.
become of age, where they grew up gaming, and now they've got the money to actually build these like trees. It's if I had money, this would be it.
Next thing we'll see from him, billionaire oil tycoon Mohammed Al Jabib has now created the first ever battle royale in real life where people are placed in some kind of Hunger Games scenario to kill each other.
So what the fuck is it? Ubar will be the first place in the world that offers a real cyberpunk lifestyle, featuring the next generation of gaming in real-life gaming. The world's first city built for play, Qiddiya City in Saudi Arabia. Ubar's lore is a cybertropolis set in Arab futurism and gamified as an RPG.
When are you moving, Candy?
I've already got my ticket.
Quote, in Ubar, cyberpunk-themed apartments are designed for gamers. Jobs to redefine the future of gaming, achievements, unlock access to elite lounges and nightlife that pulsates, all in a city that can be played through in real life, bringing it together. Finally, Ubar is a place for the cyberpunk community to truly belong, says Arnab Bhattacharya, Director of Strategy for Qiddiya Gaming.
That honestly sounds... A city built for gamers sounds like a hellscape for me.
I bet it'll stink.
Virgin Tropolis.
Has anybody behind this idea actually read a cyberpunk novel? They're not nice places to live.
I literally about to say that.
Every usually controlled by one company.
Every game I've ever played that's got like a cyberpunk or like that kind of
horrible.
Feel, it's always just full of horrible people, crime, and like drugs.
Well, it's not cyber nice,
getting
is
the
it?
brains
Like
blown
punk is
up.
generally quite a word to describe not particularly nice or luxurious things.
Non-conformist and stuff. And like, do you want to live in a world where someone can hack into your brain and blow your head off? No, not particularly. Not in that way, Candy. I mean, explode.
Then again, it is in Saudi, so that it probably would be quite well controlled.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oodles, do you want the law of Ubar?
Oh, there's law.
There's law. So this is on the Eye of Riyadh website. Before Ubar was ripped from its universe and transported to Qiddiya, it stood as the pinnacle of human achievement and the perfect fusion of creativity and technology. In its original universe, Ubar was known as the Atlantis of the Sands, was never lost to time but evolved into a futuristic metropolis, blending global cultures and innovations. As the world outside succumbed to climate disaster, Ubar opened its doors to the climate refugees, becoming a dynamic hub of multiculturalism and technological marvels driven by super-intelligent organic computing, creating a new kind of cyberpunk where humans and machines merged into something new. This movement was dubbed Arab Futurism. Behind the facade of this technological utopia, a rot is slowly setting in. An emerging entity is corrupting the AI caretakers of Ubar with only one agenda: rid Ubar of the humans that built it forever.
They're already setting in motion what they're going to do.
It's all well and good. It's all well and good having a super Arab futuristic cyber city, but you can't drink alcohol in Arab countries, so I'm not fucking bothering.
No alcohol, no drugs.
Not asked.
There's a cyber.
I can't have any jet, can I? I can't get fucked up. No thanks. No thanks.
I really want to go.
Man cannot live on shisha alone. I've told him that before.
I'm watching the kind of the reveal video for it as well. It looks so janky. Like, it's really bad CGI of people like pretending life is really good in a cyberpunk city.
Do you think when people actually get there, when they get there, they move there and they buy something, it'll turn into like that Willy Wonka experience?
They'll get there and it'll be like Kowloon Walled City. They're like, this is not what I paid for. Well, you're stuck now. Indentured servitude. That's part of the contract.
No, this looks fucking awful.
Did you read the small print?
I just couldn't live anywhere where I wouldn't get fucked up.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Sober. No!
Right. Next up.
Next.
Ubisoft board orders internal investigations and review into company's financial woes. The powers that be at Ubisoft, the executive committee and the board of directors, have announced an internal review and investigation of the company. This follows several setbacks from the firm, including, but not limited to, the soft sales of Star Wars Outlaws and the big delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Most critical of all, however, and ultimately a product of the rest, is the stock price has continued to nosedive in recent years. 11.42 euros per share at the time of writing. That's down from 5 years ago of 85.18, which is a catastrophic stuff. Blah 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 blah.
Why? Yeah. Because I told everyone the Ubisoft method a few years ago. Don't buy it on day one. Wait 3 weeks. It'll be half price. Now everyone's doing it.
I think it's very telling that Ubisoft managed to make a Star Wars game that no one bought.
I'll buy it when it's a tenner.
No, but like, it's a fucking Star Wars game. Star Wars nerds have money, you know. It's like even like the middling Star Wars games usually sell really well.
Yeah, you're right.
Not to mention, they said 5 years ago was an all-time high, but 5 years ago would have been the release of PS5 and Xbox, and really the only
Valhalla and Odyssey.
Yeah, so Valhalla, I think, would have
Ghost Recon.
That would have been the only current gen, like one of the few current gens of games available at the time.
Yeah, and they had For Honor still running, didn't they? I think
am I wrong in thinking within that 5 years as well, a lot of like shitty practices at work, like sexual assault and bullying and stuff. Yeah,
and it was all kind of swept under the rug by Yves Guillemot. He blamed like the staff for these problems rather than his executive team. And
also, 5 years ago was the start of a pandemic.
And Yves Guillemot sort of said here as well that X-Defiant is falling short of its target.
No fucking shit! It looked terrible.
X-Defiant.
That's their Crossing the Stream shooter where it's like people from Rainbow Six and Duelist Recon. We remember Biggie reviewed it about 6 months ago, and you were just going, "Why is it fucking called X-Defiant? It's a shit name." You were like really mad at the name.
That is a shit name. It's a shit name. I think the name Assassin's Creed is a fantastic name for something. It tells you everything, doesn't it? X-Defiant. What's this about? What does that mean? What are you defying against? Fucking jokers, man. Yeah, don't buy their games. Buy them when they're cheaper. Let's destroy the company together.
Or do what a load of people did with Star Wars Outlaws and just get the 2 week free get the 2 week free trial of Ubisoft Connect and then play the game, uninstall it, and cancel.
Well, that will be getting scrapped, won't it?
Oh yeah,
they'll scrap
100%.
Well,
they've already scrap that.
They've already announced that Star Wars Outlaws is coming to Steam in 3 weeks' time or something like that.
Do you know what I did notice as well? Assassin's Creed Shadows, whatever it's called, the new one. When
Shadow,
it comes out. 70 quid on PlayStation. If I get it on my Mac, which I can pre-order, $45.99.
Yeah, it's about right.
It's always cheaper on PCs and like.
Yeah, so it's like, why would I even bother? I know it will run on my, because it's Intel processor is the minimum for it. So I'm like, I'll just get it on my Mac, cheaper, but I'll get it 5 months later. It's even cheaper. It's a joke, man. They're a joke company.
Rabbids. They don't. There's nothing. There's nothing that they produce that I play.
No,
I haven't played an Ubisoft game in years.
I like Assassin's Creed games. I do, but I just can't buy them week one. It's when I know that they just drop so fast. Unlike certain companies, like From Software, I'm waiting for years, even though I'd already played it, for a digital cheap version of Sekiro. Didn't happen for a long time, did it, Gadget?
Never.
Till this year, I think.
In fact, no, about a week ago, there was a From Software Steam sale, and it was down to 20 quid for the first time ever.
First time ever. Some companies just don't do it.
Nintendo?
Nintendo. They're the worst.
Still buy Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is still dearer
quid.
than. It's still dearer than Tears of the Kingdom.
Do you want to know what the franchise from Ubisoft that I put the most time into?
What's up?
Just Dance.
Just Dance.
Yeah.
Yep.
The franchise from Ubisoft I think I've put the most time into over the years is the 2 South Park games.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry.
They're really good.
I forgot about them. Really, it would be them too, yeah. But yeah, Just Dance when it came out on the Kinect, because it worked really well with the Kinect.
Yeah, I don't think I've played a Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag. I think they hit their peak with
Odyssey.
that one. I think they hit their peak with that one, and they've never topped it.
I recommend Odyssey if you're into Greek mythology and Greek history and stuff like that. Really
I
good.
rented the Egyptian one.
That's all right. It's all right.
And I did the opening cutscene and the opening bit, and then it opened up to a big world and the map and all these icons and going places. I just went.
The problem with the Egypt one, it's not a big world; it's a country.
Yeah, I just couldn't be bothered, and I just sent it back the same day. I was like, nah, I'm not bothered.
Odyssey's even bigger. Odyssey's by far the biggest map they've ever done. It's the full Greek archipelago, including like Macedonia and small parts of Turkey. It's massive.
Too big. It's too much for me.
It is too big. Yeah. Next
up, Black Myth Wukong sales over 20 million in a month. Former CEO Ken Kutaragi revealed at Tokyo Game Show that developer Game Science moved an astonishing 20 million units in the weeks following its launch. For comparison, GTA 5 is the fastest selling game of all time, moving around 11 million copies in 24 hours. It took Hogwarts Legacy most of 2023 to cross the 20 million mark.
Wow.
So it's actually technically, the headline here says it's entered GOAT territory just because of how fast the game is and how many they've sold.
And I said it when I reviewed it as well. It's a phenomenal game, and it's the best battle combat system I've ever played in my life in any game.
Yeah.
I think it's earned those sales. It's not just China people are going to love it. Yes, of course they are. Of course they are, because it's about their mythology and their number one story of all time. But it's a fantastic fucking game, and it surprises you. It twists and turns, and it's so good to play.
It says here...
Popping people with a fucking pole's amazing.
It says here that 80% of Black Myth players were on PC.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's done really well on Steam.
Have you seen the accessibility mod they've done where they've put they've put the main character in a wheelchair?
No.
Black Wheel.
Google it. Google it. It's like, look, there's no accessibility issues with this game. Look at this. And he's just in a wheelchair and he's actually wheeling with his hands. And then when you fight, he's just popping them with a stick.
I've seen pictures from PC with like all the settings ramped up, and it looks stunning.
It's stunning. It's the best looking game I've ever played on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it's still got Xbox to come as well.
Yeah.
Not even out yet on that yet.
I've never played a game with that much frantic boss battles and that many enemies on screen, and still 60 frames per second and a little bit of ray tracing on it as well. I just couldn't believe that felt next gen, that game. First time for everything, isn't it? But yeah, I'd recommend it. So if you're not into it that much, wait while it's cheaper. But again, like I said, you can make it easier than you imagine. It's really good. And it's not Souls-like. It's not Souls-like.
Next, on to film and TV. We're getting there. We got there eventually. Hollywood's big boom has gone bust. For over a decade, business was booming in Hollywood, with studios battling to catch up the new companies like Netflix and Hulu. But the good times ground to a halt in May 2023 when Hollywood writers went on strike. The strike lasted multiple months and marked the first time since the 60s that both writers and actors joined forces, effectively shutting down Hollywood production. But rather than roaring back, in the 1 year since the strikes ended, production has fizzled. Projects have been cancelled, production has been cut across the city as jobs have dried up, and layoffs at many studios, most recently at Paramount. It's the second round of layoffs this week, as the storied movie company cut 15% of its workforce ahead of a merger with the production company Skydance. Unemployment in the film and TV in the United States was at 12.5% in August, but many of those think the actual number is higher because many film workers either do not file for unemployment benefits because they're not eligible. As a whole, the number of US productions during the second quarter of 2024 was down about 40% compared to the same period in 2022. Globally, there's been a 20% decline over that period, according to ProdPro External, with tracks, TV and film productions. This means that less new movies and binge-worthy shows for us. Experts say the streaming boom wasn't sustainable. Studios are trying to figure out how to be profitable in a new world where people don't pay for cable TV funded by commercials.
Well, I mean, they can try and fucking work it out, or they can disappear. I have very little sympathy for studios.
What they will do is stick commercials on their streaming services a la fucking Amazon.
Oh, there is that.
Or stick commercials halfway through feature films at the cinema.
Fuck that.
That would kill the cinema.
That
It's
would
already
kill
on its way
cinema.
out anyway.
You already have to sit through 20 minutes of trailers and adverts.
You don't have to.
They're
You
already
can
there.
go in
Yeah, but they're already there.
20 minutes after.
All the adverts are at the beginning, so they've paid for that technically. Don't need it. You don't need them in the middle of the film. Fuck that.
But what if they do?
No, they won't, because it would people would stop going to the cinema. They just wait for the Blu-ray.
People have stopped going to the cinema anyway, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'm
already?
telling you, stop putting things out on streaming 4 to 6 weeks after they've come to the cinema. Because
It used to be back in the day that you'd see a film at the cinema and it would be like 3 or 4 months before it hit video or
sometimes
DVD.
even longer. Like just because, like we could talk about a film, I could talk about say Megalopolis, We'll talk about that later. If he were to announce that that's going to come to streaming in 4 weeks, Oodles will be like, great, I'll watch it then, and then I'll still be in the zeitgeist and in the conversation around that film. Whereas if you had to wait
part of the problem.
If he had to wait 6 months and it was a film he wanted to see, he might go, I'll go see it then. Because by the time
that's why I rushed out to see Wolverine and Deadpool. I had to, because I didn't want to miss. I went day one, morning one of that.
They really have to stop. That's one thing they have to stop doing. It. We're not in the pandemic anymore. We don't need. If you want to recuperate money, stop putting your stuff out on streaming services straight away.
The problem with that, though, then, is streaming services will stop existing, and then people will moan about it. It's just it's like the Ouroboros, isn't it? The snake eating a snake, the head eating the tail. They're constantly chasing each other and killing each other at the same time.
That's the difference, though, because Netflix and Amazon Prime
have their own films,
and Apple technically they're films for streaming. I'm talking about like say Disney. Disney do not need to be putting stuff straight to streaming. No. Paramount don't need to do that.
Deadpool and Wolverine's on Disney Plus in a few weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to do that. Like just
it's a few weeks.
Keep it in cinemas as long as you can. That.
The other thing as well is like over the past kind of, I want to say 6 or 7 years since like streaming's really taken off, the studios have had this fire hose of middling crap trying to get the next bingeable show. And it's
the next Stranger Things.
Yeah, the next Stranger Things. And like, you know, when a good show doesn't pop off immediately because it's got a long tail, they cancel it because it hasn't got like the first 2 weeks of like insane numbers. And it's just like, focus on the quality. Stop fire hosing everything.
That's what I was about to say. I remember when HBO, that was the mark of quality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The HBO shows.
Now you can't trust that because they merged
it.
with fucking Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably not a HBO show like you recognise.
Not to mention, it must be a scary time to be living in Hollywood at the moment. Like, if you think maybe at least 25% of people that work in the film and TV industry, there's a massive homelessness problem already. Like, people are really... I would imagine there's going to be a huge shift on even more things being produced outside of Hollywood. Like,
have you noticed that most live TV now in America is filmed in New York and not LA anymore?
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that's filmed in Georgia as well because of tax breaks.
Atlanta's massive. And then nearly every like amazing film that we've loved, blockbuster films, June Part 2, James Bond, it's all filmed in England.
Yeah.
It's all
and they're looking to build a new film studio in England as well, like a new one.
We're taking over. We're bringing it back.
Give it, within the next decade, 100% Saudis create a film studio and
an industry,
a big sound stage there, because they just, all they've got to do is just build a big film studio,
and everyone's going to go to it
and say, come here, you'll pay less tax on your product.
It takes one Spielberg to do it first, and then they'll all do it.
Yeah.
I agree,
plus then you get on the indie side of things, people not needing the film studios, like, you know, you can
film it on the phones, man.
Yeah, you can do a film on an iPhone, and they're 28 years later on iPhones with big lenses strapped to them. You know,
or they have to change. Like we don't even get like, we do get some original films, but we don't seem to get original blockbusters.
No,
like you don't get
franchise films.
Yeah, you don't get an Independence Day.
Like we get weird indie films where the whole film is two people talking to each other because it's cheaper, isn't it? The great films, the great actors, and the great scripts. But then that's not what drives people to cinema.
But then look at what they did with Godzilla -1, $12 million budget, and they made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Japanese, they don't give a fuck about what the rest of the world's doing, mate. They do
but what I'm saying is, it's changed.
You can do it.
You can do it. Yeah, you can do a film that looks that good on a $12 million budget.
Yeah.
Whereas if that was done, well, I mean, the last Godzilla film that was done in America, the Godzilla versus Kong,
500 million.
It was like 128 million or something like that. It was like a ridiculous amount of money,
and only Stig went to see it.
I saw Godzilla versus Kong at the cinema at the end of the pandemic, and it looked terrible.
It was
Godzilla
terrible.
X Kong's even worse. But which Oodles will watch at some point because he has to, because it's a Godzilla
Yeah,
film.
I do have to.
I also think
one
of the bigger problems that Hollywood have right now is making stars. Yeah, you can make... There are stars like, emerging ones, so like Glenn Powell, for example. But he's not I've got to go see the next Glenn Powell film.
Yeah. I love Glenn Powell films. No one said that.
Yeah, like they're usually, like, to be fair,
I like Glenn Powell.
His last few films have all been pretty decent, but they just don't have that.
He isn't Tom Cruise, is he?
Yeah, and Tom Cruise is nearly 60, and he's
going to stop doing it.
Action film days are coming to an end soon. And that's
the closest thing I can
problem.
think to like, I mean, in modern times, like something that would proper make my ears twitch is like the new James Bond films. They always felt like
that's a franchise
moment
still, though,
for
isn't
me.
it?
Yeah, but a James Bond, and I think that might be the Britishness of us, but it always felt like a moment. Like, since I've been alive, I've only missed one James Bond film in the cinema. Do you know what I mean? And that's because I had a new baby.
But
that is the only reason.
I don't know. It's like
an event.
It's like
there's no events anymore.
I thought, especially coming off Barbie and the Oscars, I thought Ryan Gosling was like a sure thing as Ryan Gosling's doing in this action comedy film,
Fall Guy,
and I enjoyed the Fall Guy a lot, but it didn't pull in the numbers. His name wasn't enough to pull people in.
We don't have the stars that we used to.
It's less stars now. It's a mix of directors and franchises that pull people in.
Remember when you heard Denzel Washington is, and you're like, fuck!
I don't even think he pulls people in now either. It's just
not anymore because he's just an old man.
I don't know. Yeah, some does have to change where
Dennis Quaid's never pulled anybody in.
They do something.
Like your Arnie's, your Stallones, your Bruce Willis's.
The closest thing that come to that in the last few years has been probably The Rock, but his movies just haven't been good.
Suck.
Yeah.
He's made the bad choices, unlike Arnie, who made the good and intelligent choices.
We got on a tangent there, but I liked it. Let's cut some of the news.
We're already at 54 minutes.
Right, we've got a few more stories. Quickly, we'll blast through these. Aquaman director James Wan boards Amazon's RoboCop TV series. So it looks like we're getting a RoboCop TV series. Great. Kyle Chandler to star in HBO's Lantern series as Hal Jordan.
Good. Next.
Kyle Chandler's good. Hal Jordan's good.
Yep.
I think DC is going to absolutely cook Marvel over the next 5 years.
And I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, I think James Gunn knows exactly what he's doing.
Let's go!
We all saw the new Last of Us trailer, presumably.
Nope.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I'm deliberately not watching them. No, TV
There
series.
is a Last of Us 2 teaser trailer, shows off Dina, shows off Jeffrey Wright as Isaac.
So they are just doing the sequel game.
Catherine O'Hara's character. Yeah. And
I don't need to watch it then.
Abby.
Oh, I need to play it though, don't I?
We both do.
I can't remember who's plays Abby. But yeah, it just shows them all the new characters and like clips and stuff.
Candy's playing Abby.
Yeah. It's teeing up to be a really good season.
Yep. That's cool.
Hideo... Sorry. Hideo Kojima signed with Hollywood talent agency WME as he begins to explore more film and TV opportunities. He's finally getting a film.
He will never make a game again. Now he's got film, he will never make a game again.
I don't know, Candy showed us a thing from the Death Stranding presentation today at Tokyo Game Show, and what the fuck?
What photo mode that they've got?
Photo mode looks cool. I'm not sure about the dancing puppets. I do particularly enjoy the names Doll Man and Tar Man.
It's a Death Stranding game. What do you expect?
He's a fucking
Die
hack.
Hard man.
He's a hack.
Yeah, he's a fucking genius. I love that game.
I do love.
He is a hack, but it's yeah.
He's a hack in the same way that Sam Lake is a hack.
Yeah.
Like, I love their work. They're hacks.
I love it.
They know what they're doing.
I don't
and
think
it's also revealed. They did mention that it's not a delivery game, isn't it? It's not. The world is healed. It's not a delivery game. Well, not healed, but the network's healed. So it's going to be a more action-oriented game.
Seems like it. They haven't showed any gameplay yet, though, have they?
No, they won't, because it's probably not the same gameplay.
There
You know
won't
what
be
he's
gameplay.
like.
He's going to come out and go, this isn't a
video.
game, it's just one long video.
I mean,
And we'll buy it.
They never actually showed any gameplay footage for the first game. It was all cutscene.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
No one would have bought it.
And then when reviewers got it, went, hang on, I work for UPS in this game. Okay,
Next, on to the final bit of movie and TV news. Sadly, we lost true legend Dame Maggie Smith this week. Best known for, well, more recently in the last 20 years or so, Harry Potter and Downton Abbey. She's been
Hold up your wands.
a star of the stage and screen, and she sadly passed away this week at the age of 89. Tributes have been made by the King, the Prime Minister, and numerous co-stars from her long career.
I fucking love Maggie Smith.
Absolute legend.
Love her.
In her career, she won 2 Oscars for The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie in 1970 and California Suite in 1979. She had 4 other nominations and received 7 BAFTA awards. And weirdly enough, she died on the same day, exactly a year on from Michael Gambon. So Dumbledore and McGonagall
Next year, then.
literally a year apart on the same day.
A lot of people have died from those productions, haven't they? The Harry Potters.
Yeah.
A lot of the main characters
kind of
outside of
cursed
the kids
production
now.
now.
I think there's probably Ralph Fiennes. It's like one of the biggest stars left. Helena Bonham Carter.
And Ralph Fiennes won't die because he's scattered his soul into 7 different pieces. So
see, Oodles knows now.
I do. I can't
Everyone
watch
form a
it, but
circle
it
round
did.
Warwick
She
Davis.
was like a lot of the adult actors in Harry Potter. She's just so good as McGonagall.
Yeah.
She's just great anyway. And like, if you watch old clips of her on TV dramas and some BBC dramas and some older films, because she was very much a stage. You know, when they convert stage plays to film, she's very much that kind of actor. And she was always such a commanding presence. And people think that she couldn't do any other accents and stuff like that. She was so good with the English word and the dialects and stuff. She did Irish accents, Scottish accents, obviously, and English accents, and she was just so commanding, and I loved her.
I think my first instance of seeing her was probably Sister Act, and then Hook.
So I think Hook for me.
Yeah, she has been an old lady for all of my life.
She has, hasn't she? She's always been old.
Yeah, she's just always.
Oh, she was in
like
Secret Garden as well, wasn't she? That might have been the first thing. That might have been the first thing I saw. And she was old then. She's probably only 40.
She's from that generation where they were 20 years old, but they looked like they were 70.
Yeah, true. But yeah, she would, for me, like, she was amazing as Professor McGonagall, and she didn't get a lot of screen time in those films. There's some moments that,
But when she was there,
she was great. There were some moments on the books I wish they would have given her. But yeah, she's especially in the last film, she gets a few good moments. So yeah, she's great.
I was really enjoying Harry Potter TikTok last week with the thirsty Death Eaters and stuff like that, and then Maggie Smith dying has just changed Potter talk.
Yeah,
forever. I don't know if you saw those images of those Death Eaters at the Harry Potter thing where they were like pinning women against walls.
I saw it.
I bet you did.
I booked my ticket to Orlando.
To Sleep Token.
Yeah. Oof.
It was quite sexy, actually, but yeah, fucking hell, absolutely. Wizard hats off to you, and witches hats off to you. Hold your wands aloft. What a shame. What a shame.
Yep.
Love that.
And finally, the Weird World Web. 88-year-old Skyrim grandma isn't doing any more gaming videos, but we'll keep you updated on her quilt she's making.
Skyrim grandma.
And an upcoming eye surgery is going to leave her recovering for some weeks. And more importantly to her, she's simply tired of playing games for an audience. It isn't fun anymore, she said in a video. I'm tired of it. I'm bored of it. Bored to death with it. So I'm making a decision now. I'm totally fine. I'm going to not be making any more gaming videos and uploading them. Fine. She's 88
I said to
years
Gadget,
old.
I hope she lives to see Elder Scrolls 6.
She will not.
That's coming out in
Fucking hell,
25
Stig.
years, is it?
Have some hope, you miserable bastard.
She was
I have
only 30
no
when
hope that I'm
Skyrim
going to
came
be
out.
alive when that game comes out.
How old is Skyrim grandma? Is she actually a grandma? Not a
88.
joke. Fucking hell. All right. Good on her.
To be
She's gonna
Some
be-
Twitch dollar.
She's going to appear in the Elder Scrolls 6, though. Years ago, they showed video of her being, like, her head being scanned and everything. So she'll be in it somehow,
Why
even
are
if she
you
doesn't
not
get to
in
see
it?
Who says I'm not?
You've literally shagged Todd Howard.
Who says I'm
She
not?
shagged a pillow of him.
Okay.
But yeah, she gained 1.29 million subscribers on YouTube. And she became popular enough that Bethesda scanned her likeness and have pledged to immortalize her as an NPC in Elder Scrolls 6, whenever that comes. Yeah, I wonder whether when that comes, that she might, even if it's like, say, 4 years, 5 years time, she just does like one little, I'm back, just for a opening kind of, even one video, 2 videos.
She'll be on MetaQuest 7.
Yeah, her head won't be able to hold it up. Bless her, she's tiny. Yeah. She has stopped doing video gaming videos in the past, so it's not 100% she will never be back. So I would imagine if she's around when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out,
she's like the fucking PewDiePie of pensioners, then, isn't she? I'm
This is what I'm going to do when I retire. I'm going to play games because old people have an audience.
Yeah,
Old people have an audience in gaming. Just like, oh, look, old people playing games. How cute.
There's another niche, Stig.
You've got
Yes,
to
they'll all be
wholesome
old
with
by
it.
then,
playing
Gadget.
games.
I know that.
No, you've got to be super wholesome with it, is what I mean.
I can be super wholesome.
You saying he's not wholesome? That's a horrible thing to say about Stig. He's very wholesome.
I can be wholesome.
He's just not worldly. That's the difference.
There's an
Old
old guy I see
Yorkshire
on,
granddad plays some games.
there's an old guy I see on TikTok every so often who streams Battlefield, and he does these really like amazing long distance sniper shots, and he sits there, he says, "Oh, you just got to move up like this. You just got to get in between these two things, and bam,
He's doing the
headshot."
actual,
Yeah.
the real trajectory stuff.
Yeah, I think he must
And
be ex-military.
turns out he was in the fucking Korean War.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
but he's
there's
just like this really nice, calm little old man, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, you just go up there, oh headshot," and he'll come back, and oh, there's another headshot. Aw.
Actually, I
Something I've never
reposted an
done.
article the other day, and it was about there's a geriatric esports team called the Silver Snipers. I think it's 3 gents and 2 older women. They are proper cauliflower heads as well, not just like just retired.
I like
You
it.
can't call cauliflower heads. That's a slur.
No, it's not.
Would be offending the clickers.
That's our word. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the show. What we all been up to. Stigarette. I know you've just been talking
Just
a lot,
been
but I'm going to make you
talking.
talk even
No,
more.
I've just been
I want you
talking.
to lose your voice.
What? I've done loads this week.
Wholesome.
Absolutely loads.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah, I've been watching Rings of Power. That was fantastic. I watched Agatha All Along. That's really good, actually. You should watch that. It's quite good fun.
Oh,
It's yeah. I watched Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. It's a 4-part show on Disney, which is obviously done in Lego. So it's kind of got that, like the movement and the kind of quirkiness you get from the Lego movie. And we've talked about it in the news before when they announced it. It's a mini-series, and it's based on the character Stig Griblig.
Yeah. Big character. Everyone knows
He's
him.
a made-up character. He's a scruffy...
Of course it fucking is.
He's a scruffy nerd herder.
Glup shito.
Yeah, and he discovers that he has force powers, and he pulls out this brick from a Jedi temple, and it rebuilds a galaxy, and everything gets turned into chaos. So Palpatine and Vader are actually good guys. They're Jedis. And people are, and Rey is a bad guy. There's Darth Jar Jar. Mark Hamill isn't. He comes back for Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker isn't a Jedi. He's some kind of pod racer, extraordinaire, stuntman. It just flips. It just flips the universe and plays around with it. It's like I said before. It's a what if. Half an hour episodes. I think there's going to be a sequel because it kind of leaves you with the option with it for a sequel. Yeah, it's fun. So if you like
What's it called?
Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. And then I have watched the Vince McMahon documentary. I'll talk about that. I'm presuming Gadget wants to talk about that.
Yes.
So I'll wait for Gadget, and I'll jump in with Gadget on that because I've got a couple of films to talk about. First one is Apple TV's Wolves. It's directed by John Watts. It stars Brad Pitt and George Clooney. It's about a couple of fixers who are brought in to fix up a issue. So the film kind of starts with I think Amy Ryan's character. I think she's a DA, and she's up in a hotel room with a young man who has an accident, and she thinks he's dead. So she calls a fixer in to come, and this
Winston Wolfe.
She can't be. No, they don't have names.
No, but it's funny that it's Wolves, and Winston Wolfe was a fixer in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So she calls in George Clooney, who comes in, and obviously his whole job is
Sexy.
to clear the room, get rid of the body. This never happened. You were never here, kind of thing. While he's there, Brad Pitt's character turns up. He has been hired by the owner of the hotel, who's been watching on cameras. So the two of them are forced to work together. They don't know each other. They've never met each other. And so they have to deal with the...
There's wolves in your
There is, sorry, my dogs are barking.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! That's what he's saying. Shut the fuck up!
Wholesome.
Yes, wholesome. Telling my dogs to
Wholesome
shut
Stig. Episode title, Wholesome Stig.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they have to work together. It's in the trailer. It's turned out that the body of the young guy isn't dead. He was just loopy and knocked out.
It's easy to make them dead.
Yeah, and they kind of have to uncover this conspiracy that's going on around him and these drugs they find, and kind of the gangs that are involved in it and everything like that. And from the trailer, I was imagining this being some kind of like Shane Black-esque film. You've got Brad Pitt, you've got George Clooney.
Like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah, you've seen them in stuff like Ocean's 11. You've seen the way they bounce off each other, and they do bounce off each other well in this. But from that trailer that I originally watched, I expected there to be more laughs. I expected it to be a lot snappier and more like
What, like they pick the body up and one of them drops it and goes, "Hey man,
no,
don't drop the
but
body."
just like like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, like the nice guys, that kind of snappy dialogue that you get back and forth.
Yeah.
Like if this was wrote by Shane Black, like you'd get that, and this is what I think it's trying to do, but it doesn't land as well. Like it's a lot more serious than I thought it was. It's a decent, good film. Them two are really good together. Like just charisma for days, especially when they're together. And it was enjoyable. Couple of hours. 3 out of 5 star film, I'd say. If you want to sit and watch this at home, you'll have a good time. I wouldn't have gone to the cinema to see it. It's got a very small cinema release anyway because it's on Apple TV.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's light on laughs, but it's a very watchable film. Like you'll have a good time with it. Like
Okay.
now on to the big film of the week.
Oh, that wasn't the big film.
No, that wasn't the big film. That was just a film that I'd kind of watched mid on
Oh dear.
the other night that I really enjoyed. But the big film of the week is Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis.
This is why I asked you first because I couldn't wait. I needed to know. Come on, Stig,
This film-
Stig, right? I'm sat here. I've got a drip. I want you to put that whatever you're going to say into the drip bag, and I want you to put it into my veins right now. Come on.
This film has an amazing cast. And Adam Driver, Natalie Emmanuel, Giancarlo Esposito, Audrey Plaza,
keep talking.
Shia LaBeouf, John Voight for all his
Sins.
sins, Jason Schwartzman, and Lawrence Fishburne, and Dustin Hoffman, to name.
Keep talking, baby.
It is setting a world where, from what I can gather, the Roman Empire never fell. Yet,
Yes, it's based on a Roman play.
but
as
the
well.
rest of the world kind of still kept on exactly the same. America is formed. They are exactly the same as they are now. There is a Statue of Liberty. There is a Empire State's building. New York looks like New York now, except some of the architecture has Roman architecture in it. People wear like normal clothes, but also some of them wear togas style dresses and capes and like like gold leafed cuffs and collars and.
So it's
and
what
things.
you'd imagine it if it did actually happen. It'd be modernised of it. Like people still wear tunics nowadays, but it's not normal, is it?
Yeah, like there's a lot of things in there. Like some of the scenes and setups are like Shia LaBeouf's character is Claudio. He is the
Oh, they've got Roman names.
yeah.
too.
So you've got Hamilton Crassus III. That's John Voight. He's in control of the banks. Adam Driver is called Caesar. Natalie Emanuel is called Julia Cesaro, and she is the daughter of the mayor, Franklin, who is Giancarlo's character. They are all at odds with each other. You've got John Voight's character being at odds with Giancarlo's character, who is the mayor. They're all both at odds with Caesar because he has discovered this new element which he wants to destroy part of New York and rebuild Megalopolis in this new...
Mate, I'm so fucking in already.
He wants to build it with this new kind of element that he's found, which is kind of indestructible. It's better than concrete. It's better than steel. It has so many different properties that you can do with it, and wrapped up with all of this is this Shakespearean Roman-esque story, but set in a modern New York City.
Julius Caesar.
I don't know what the fuck to make of this film.
That's what I wanted you to say. That's what I wanted. I want you to say. I cannot score this film.
I get what he's going for, right? So I get what Coppola's going for. If you don't know about this, he's been trying to get this film made for like 40 years, but he's ended up having to finance it himself. He's put 125 million pounds of his own dollars of his own money into this to finance this, and it shows because clearly no one has told him no. He has a million ideas for this film, and he's just gone, I'm going to put them all in there and
mix it up.
Some of it just does not work.
I was never going to go and say this, so I've just read the synopsis, and it sounds like a mess.
The main story in between it all, the main story makes sense. It's war in families in Rome.
Yeah.
Imagine this is there's even a part where they're kind of like
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, it's almost there's a moment where there is the mayor, the banker, and Caesar, and they're talking to the crowd, and they're surrounded by this crowd like they're up in the gallows, and like they're rah rah, they're booing the mayor and they're cheering him, and you've got Shia LaBeouf's character who's this playboy who wants to be the next in line to John Voight's like fortune, and he's fucking his sisters and all this kind of
King Lear.
Yeah, it's all kind of steeped within this kind of Roman fables. Like it feels very much like if you took this story and put it in a classical
modern day setting.
Well, no, if you put it in an old Roman setting, classical, like you could tell the same story, but without the whole like element. You could just have this
the
guy,
actual megalopolis.
Yeah, you could just have a guy in Rome who wanted to build this utopia in Rome, and it would work exactly the same. But within all that, it's all this trippy shit going on. He can stop time.
What?
But in my opinion, the reason he can stop time is because he sees it. He's an artist, and he's not physically stopping time. And I think people have got that mixed up.
Oh, that's just like the filming. It's showing you what he's seeing.
I think it's to show kind of what he sees. He's in his flow. He's in his artistic flow, and to do that, he stops time so he can just see better. Do you know what I mean? Like like later on in the film, he struggles with it. He can't stop time. He kind of has to get his kind of mojo back in essence to try and to do that again. There's loads of politics going on. The whole thing is narrated by Lawrence Fishburne, who is also Adam Driver's like kind of butler, second in command, like the guy who drives him around. He's there. He's chauffeur and everything. Yeah. I get what he's going for. I can see why people hate it. I can see why people love it.
Are they not doing what they do in America, where in America they've got a real actor in the cinema doing a little scene?
So this is not for every film, every showing. There are interactive like
moments
in this film.
Gadget, are you listed? There's interactive moments
where there's an actual person asking Adam Driver's character Caesar questions.
Yeah.
Like there is a moment in the film where he's like
In real
a
life.
press conference, and the one I saw is obviously there's just a voiceover and he answers questions. In real life, there is people within the cinema asking those questions to the screen, and him looking down at them.
The fuck?
In a little box.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gadget, this is real.
it's really out there. Now, my biggest takeaway from this is, like I said, there is an essence of a good story in there. Had he made this in his pomp in the 70s, it would have been brilliant. Because he would have been restricted to the filming techniques, the editing, and the technology at the time. Because it's not restricted in those things. These days, you can do anything, right? You can do anything.
Yeah.
He goes overboard. The CGI isn't particularly great. There is some really good psychedelic moments in there. But when you compare it to something like 2001 and what Kubrick had to do then, if Coppola was forced to do that in the 60s and 70s to get this same effect, it just would have landed better. It would have felt more real. It doesn't. There's a lot of scenes in this that don't feel real.
His last good film where, even though he did need more of an editor, and he still went a bit batshit with it, was Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's still a bit of a crazy film, that. But because of the constraints of the early 90s...
And also he was massively in debt.
Massively in debt.
Because he'd done this self-financing thing with a...
Loads of times.
He did it with Apocalypse Now, and then he did it with something else, which put him in debt until he did Rainmaker. Yeah.
So he had to do studio films for a bit. So Stig's right. If he had the restrictions, you reckon it would have been a much better film?
I don't see his style in this either. I do not look at this film and go, that's the guy who made The Godfather. That's the guy who made The Conversation, who made Apocalypse Now. It feels like he's just gone, I'm just going to go fucking nuts. I've got this idea and I'm going to throw it in there and then mix this story around. I sit bang in the middle. I think it's a 3 out of 5.
I can tell you're struggling because it's like...
It's a 3 out of 5 star film for me. There are moments in there which I get. There are moments which I understand what he's doing. But there are also moments where I'm thinking, why is this in the film? Why in this? There's like one part of this film which has no bearing on the story whatsoever. He's just kind of chucked it in. It's to do with this young singer and where all these people start bidding on the option, to take her virginity, and it's like this bears nothing on the rest of the film. It's this one little singular moment in the film that doesn't come to fruition and doesn't actually impact the story whatsoever. Get rid of it. It's not needed.
Yeah.
And the way it's filmed and it's just so out of tone with the rest of the film. Tonally, it's a fucking mess. An absolute mess. But I didn't hate it. I don't think I will ever watch this again. But
I think I might go see it tomorrow.
I admire it.
I might go see it.
I admire it, but also at the end of the day, it's an egotistical, self-indulgent twaddle of a Shakespearean story where he's tried to throw.
That's what I wanted.
Where he's tried to throw some meaning and metaphors on today's society in there. More specifically towards the end, it's just like, that's MAGA. Like that, it's like
make Rome great again.
Basically, yeah. You got Shia LaBeouf's character trying to lead this kind of revolution. It's just like that is just him trying to say this is today's politics, and it's so on the nose. It's just like,
I think I have to go and see this tomorrow.
I was just looking up some trivia on this. Francis Ford Coppola's been talking about this film since the 70s. Yeah. He was in pre-production in 2001. Ultimately, the film got scrapped because of 9/11. Do you want to know who the original cast was that he did a table read with? Because it's fucking stacked.
Keanu Reeves.
Nope. Paul Newman, Uma Thurman, Robert De Niro, James Gandolfini, Nicolas Cage, Leonardo DiCaprio, Russell Crowe, Edie Falco, and Kevin Spacey.
Just a lot of problematics in there.
Yeah, very much so, yes, but stacked for 2001.
Yeah. I've just been excited about this film since I heard about it when I was in film studies. at school. So I wanted it to be a mess, and I've let Stig talk about it and spend a lot of the podcast time because I think I have to go and see it. If someone turned around and told me 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5, I still think I have to go and see it.
It's so polarizing. Polarizing. I can see.
I know I'm going to come out with going 5 out of 5.
I think you'll.
Best film I've
I
ever
do
seen.
think you'll like this. I think you will look at it and go. I think there'll be parts of it you'll go, that's fucking shit. That looks shit. But
Yeah.
I know that you will sit there and you'll go, there's this real old school Roman fable wrapped up in all of this.
And I love Shakespeare. So
And there are
fucking much.
parts where they're literally just walking around in like gold-plated like armor and like full and leaning into the Roman aesthetics.
I'm fucking down.
My other
mate.
biggest takeaway from this film was coming away and just thinking how stunning Natalie Emmanuel is. I just every time she's on
she's
she is,
beautiful.
isn't she?
when she's on screen, I was thinking, man, like is she one of the most beautiful
Why aren't I
women
married to
that
her?
I've ever seen? Yes.
Why is she in the Fast and Furious films?
Yeah.
How long is it?
It's about 2 hours. 138
I
minutes.
wanted it to be a 4-hour epic. I literally can't wait for the director's cut of this as well. Because there's gonna be one. I can't fucking wait. Oh, I'm glad you've proper twisted my arm. I'm gonna go see it. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get some Häagen-Dazs as well. I'm gonna treat myself.
I would.
What a queen.
I would go to the cinema sooner rather than later on it as well. It only had $4 million on its opening weekend.
I know they'll stop it, won't they?
I need to see. There was a review on. This review on Letterboxd is my favourite. This shit sucked Megalopolis. Half star.
I wanted.
It,
I just love self-indulgent films. I love them.
it's proper polarized. It's 49% on the tomato meter.
Yes.
So it's
This
like
is why
right
I
down
love The
middle.
Room. I love The Room because that's a self-indulgent mess.
The rating on Letterboxd is just. It's almost like just straight across from 1 to 5 star, like all the same.
Oh, I'm buzzing for that. Excellent. Thank you very much, Stig. I'm going to jump in now. I'm going to be quite quick. I've played the prologue demo to Metaphor Refantazio. If you don't know what this is, it is the new Atlas JRPG. The same.
It's medieval Persona, isn't it?
It's medieval Persona. Now, let me give you the best thing about this. Because it's medieval Persona, there's no weird sex things in it.
Way.
Which is what put me off of most of the Persona games. The weird sex stuff.
It's what stopped me finishing Persona 5.
Yeah, the child grooming doctor. The the teachers that wanted to kiss and rape all the students. No, thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
this is in the,
no, he's
this
not-
is in
he's
the
not
first
ex-
10 hours.
Not exaggerating. It's,
Oh my
that was
god! I
lit-
thought you meant fun weird sex stuff, not.
No. The
There's
first,
nonces in it.
first-
One of the
first
first
major-
big bosses is a nonce.
Oh wow!
and
You kill him.
and one of the shops that your character can go to is a female doctor who's very strangely interested in the main character.
And the 16-year-old character.
No, I don't like that.
No, it's
So-
uncomfortable.
And Atlas I've already discussed that kind of thing, and they've quoted that this is more akin to your Tolkien, your Game of Thrones, your high fantasy stuff.
Good.
It's basically that. It plays like Persona, but it's in a world that's very interesting. So it's a very mature game, as in everyone's English, everyone's got a British accent. Like Game of Thrones. You can see it's there. You create a character. You don't create a character, but you name your character. Guess what? He's fully voiced,
Oh, fantastic!
which is fucking great. There's a lot
Because
of...
that was another annoying thing with Persona
weird
games
thing.
where the other characters are voiced and talking to you, and you're just sat there like a mute little fucking idiot.
dot.
Yeah.
Let's go down here. ... Yeah, it's weird. It's a fully realised and created world. You're basically in this United Kingdom of Ukraine, something like I can't say it, like Ukraine, something like that. And it's a country that's divided by how do I say this? By tribes. So tribes means races, and there's like 6 races in this world. They're all humanoid races, but some of the races have got horns. Some of them are elves, but they're not called elves. They've got their own names.
D&D-ish kind of things.
It's very D&D. But unlike most D&D, this is a politically charged medieval world where all the races hate each other.
So it's like D&D then.
But there is another race called the Elders. And guess what they are? They are normal human beings, like me and you. They are the least populous race. They are a dying breed, the normal humans. And even though all the races are hating on each other, they love to get together and hate on the normies, on the Elders. And guess what? Your character is? He's an Elder. He's a human. So you've already got that as soon as you get into the world that everyone despises. And I haven't figured out. This is a prologue demo. It's 10 hours long. So just to get your teeth sunk into that,
But is it enough that you want to get the game when it comes out?
Oh, fucking 1,000,000%! I love it. It's just a really good. Do you know what? The fucked up thing is, there's some kind of weird meta to it where your main character that you've created, he's got a book on him that it's his prized possession, and it's called a fantasy book, and everyone is like, let's have a look at your fantasy. What's it about? He says it's just a fictional book, and the fantasy that he's reading is our world. It's like they live in a city where they're all one race. No one's got horns, and it's a utopian. There's skyscrapers and these things like horseless carriages. Do you know what I mean? That kind of
cool.
Fascinating thing. And everyone's saying, that is ridiculous. As if there's a world with no dragons. Are you mad? Do you know what I mean? Of course, there's dragons everywhere. Not in this fantasy novel that your main character's got. And it's just a really good... It's definitely a politically charged game, and it's talking about racism and xenophobia. But there's also awesome JRPG battles to have. Which is great.
My interest in this has now gone up because I was worried it was going to be another Persona nonce fest.
No, it's so much. They mentioned it after Persona 5 that we get that it was quite juvenile in its scope, and they've spent a good 5 years now creating this. They did the world building first, which is a first for Atlas. They usually just make the characters and then put the world around them, and there's no procedural generation. Everything's handcrafted.
Oh, good.
It's not open world.
Oh, good.
I know. It does have the timekeeping thing where you got downtime and you can go and explore the city.
Yeah, that was fine. I actually really like that about Persona.
Yeah, but you can just skip it and carry on with the story. It's just the best thing about it is if you're not into JRPGs that much, like if there's an enemy on the field, you can either attack them like Zelda, where it's an action RPG, and just fight them and whittle them down, or you can press triangle and enter a turn-based mode. If you're not as good with those type of games, where you can take your time, plan it, and it's seamless. It's genuinely seamless. And it's got 7 different difficulty modes to it, so you can have it so easy. There's a one-hit mode where you kill everything in one hit.
Brilliant.
If you just want to play the game. And again, I'm about 5 hours into a 10-hour demo, so I imagine that... And it says when it loads up, this is but 5% of the full game. So I'm definitely going to get it. And I mean, the previews have gone through roof. They've gone through roof. And I can't wait for it to come out. It's coming out in a few weeks. But the main thing I have done, I watched a film that made me cry my eyes out. I absolutely cry my eyes out. It's a Netflix film starring Will Ferrell and Harper Steele. Will and Harper.
I want to watch this.
Yeah.
So it's an hour-and-a-half film documentary where Will Ferrell, everyone knows who Will Ferrell is, the comedian, gets an email out of the blue from his friend, who then tells him that he has transitioned. They have transitioned into a woman, and they now want to be called Harper Steele. And she and Will go on a road trip around America. Now, Harper Steele is throughout Will Ferrell's life has been like Will Ferrell's writer, comedy writer, and script writer and stuff.
Yeah, she is.
Best friends forever.
They met on SNL, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. And it's very SNL focused documentary as well. And they go around America. Like Harper Steele, she loves America. She is American born and bred. But she says really openly at the beginning, I don't think America loves me now, now that I'm a trans woman. And it's the journey. It's the journey of someone coming out as trans at a very, 61 years old, a person that's had a wife and 2 children and gone through a messy divorce and been in therapy their whole life and then clicked on when the movement of the trans movement kicked in before the pandemic, and everyone's like, it's not dissociative disorder anymore. This is who you are. She decided, I think I've been trans all my life and I've just never been allowed. And who better to go on a road trip with than your best mate? But Will Ferrell knows Harper Steele as a man all her life. So it's really, I'm not a massive Will Ferrell fan, but I now love him from it.
I'd heard that this isn't Will Ferrell from the films. This is not... the guy that you see in the films is not the person you see in this. You see a proper...
He's not really funny in this.
Real Will Ferrell, and he's very...
quiet.
Yeah, and understanding and listens. Yeah. And this, he said, even... I think is the moments where he dead names her and he calls her by the wrong gender, but she's like, it's fine. I've known him for 30 years.
She allowed it when they started the journey. Yeah. It's the first time he saw her as a woman. She says to him, "You can get as many mistakes as you want wrong. You can mistake this whole journey. I'm going to let you off, but this journey needs to get. I need to get the point across that after this journey, I am Harper. Do you know what I mean? I am a woman, and." It's just so eye-opening because America is... They call it the last bastion of freedom, don't they? In political terms and in the media. It's the opposite. Mm-hmm. It truly is the opposite of freedom. They go... They have a really... The start to the journey is really good. They start in New York and they're going to LA. They're in the northern territories of America. They're going through all Chicago and that. And as you can imagine... When you start going to the red states, it gets a bit different, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It will do, yeah.
And all the way through it, they're showing tweets of, because Will and Harper are tweeting this and putting out on Instagram, and they're actually, it even says at the beginning, we are naming people that have been thrown abuse at us throughout this journey. And they do. They name people, and they put their handles up, and it shows you the tweets that people are saying, and I was bawling my eyes out. How can people be so fucking mean?
Yeah.
And I was watching this with my wife, and she's struggling to grasp the trans movement and stuff. Not that she hates on it or anything like that. She's just struggling to not accept it either. She's struggling to
understand,
get accustomed to it.
There's a... I think I was listening to the Empire podcast and they're saying that for cis people, especially, you aren't in that body. You don't really understand how these people feel, and sometimes it can be quite difficult to kind of grasp why they feel like that and why their bodies are telling them that they aren't who they were born as and things like that.
And they thought it was a dissociative disorders or some kind of mental illness, but it's not. And at the beginning, when we first started watching it, my wife's like, she's never been mean about it. She's like, I don't understand. I don't understand. By the end, she was like, I get it. I fucking get it. And she was crying her eyes out as well. She's like, I've been so wrong. I went, you haven't been wrong. You've never been mean about it. And now she's like, I'm a full-blown ally. And, you know, it's so moving. I cried my eyes out. When you see two people in the 60s, destroyed by the country that they love, by the people that are supposed to love them. It's fucking heartbreaking. It truly is. And I think it's very important to watch. It's not going to waste too much of your time. It's heavy, don't get me wrong. It's not. There are comedic moments. There's beautiful moments as well in some states that you wouldn't imagine people being so positive about it. There's a bit where they're in Texas and one of the guys, they're at a fucking baseball game or something. One of the hicks says, if you're happy, Harper, that's all that matters.
Aww.
And she starts crying. It's like, I didn't expect that from you. He had a Trump hat on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, don't judge anyone. You know what I mean? Don't judge a book by its cover. And that's the biggest takeaway from it. And I think it's such an impact. And it's probably the most impactful Netflix film I've seen.
Oh.
It's it's fucking. But don't go in thinking you're going to get away from it without crying. I know Gadget's going to be a blubbering mess after watching it, and Candy will be.
Yeah, it'll be a blubbering mess mostly because I went through that because my best friend of a very long time transitioned. And it became a bittersweet thing for me because, this might sound really horrible, I didn't like the person they became. Because some people
changed.
Some people transition and become the person they were meant to be, or they all could become the person they were meant to be. But you just carry on.
You don't have to like that person, do you?
Yeah. Whereas when Bailey happened, there was just something about her personality changed in a way, and she's happy. Don't get me wrong; I'm very happy that she's happy.
That she's happy,
and that was the main thing. But I mourned the person she transitioned from for a very long time, and by the time
it's hard to grasp, isn't it?
By the time I'd wrapped around it in my head, and I kind of sat down and I spoke to Bailey properly, the person who Bailey was I didn't get on with Bailey. But I was ultimately very happy for her that she was happy. So it's one
lost a friend, but she gained a life.
Yeah. So
it's a sacrifice sometimes, isn't it?
It is. And I'm very happy that she's happy. And so I'm interested to see this, but fuck me, it's going to make me cry.
It's going to be. It's going to be fucking.
I'm fucking welling up thinking about Bailey now. You know, it's just. Ugh.
Yeah, and I do want Netflix to do more of these introspective documentaries. Will Ferrell does help people get eyes on it, and Harper Steele never wanted to do it as a documentary. Do you know what I mean? It's not like capitalising on someone's transition.
No. She's been she doesn't like being in front of the camera. Will Ferrell is very much. I've spent the last 30 years in front of the camera.
She's been writing everything
behind the back, and even
Will Ferrell literally says in this, without Harper Steele, I would not exist.
Yeah,
nobody would laugh at me.
Even when they talk about and see pictures of the producers and writers behind like SNL and stuff like that, she would always go and hide off because she just doesn't like being in pictures, didn't like being in videos.
Because she didn't want to be who she used to be.
Yeah.
And in this, she's like, yeah, put the camera on me because this is me. And she's an eccentric dresser and stuff, and she doesn't hide her masculine voice in any way, shape, or form. She is now a gay woman. She's still attracted to women. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's really powerful, and I want to see more of this kind of stuff. And using Will Ferrell, like I said, as get your eyes attached to it, get your eyes on it. People love Will Ferrell, get your eyes on it, is a genius move, because I think this is going to change a lot of people's attitudes towards this kind of thing. I think it's important. And sorry to destroy the fun of the podcast. Candy, what you've been doing?
Well, just to completely change tone, I finally saw Beetlejuice, and I agree with Stig. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's Tim Burton.
Are you a goth again now?
I'm a goth again, yeah. Purple eyeshadow, the lot. It's Tim Burton being unashamedly Tim Burton, just going all out. Somehow Beetlejuice is even more disgusting and gross than he was in the previous outing. And I've heard a few complaints about, there's too many side characters that you don't care about. I didn't find that at all. I thought all the side characters fitted into the story nicely. I didn't think there was the cast was too big. I thought the older cast were great coming back. I thought it was written out well, how one of the cast members was not present.
Present?
Really great. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Beetlejuice.
The only character I would say was, if they weren't in the film, it wouldn't have made a difference, was Monica Bellucci's. It felt like...
But I like that she's in it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like, she's got a very Morticia Adams vibe going on, hasn't she? But like I do think that, like, had that character not been in the film, the rest of the film probably could have played out the same. That's
possibly, yeah, but you got to have a bit of Totty in there, haven't you?
Yes.
Good
old Tim Burton.
Go big or go home.
Isn't he with her now?
Yes.
I was going to say, I wonder if that's his partner now.
They are.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. But
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I went to the Royal Albert Hall to see
Albert. You saw Albert?
I saw Albert. Yeah, his hall was very nice indeed. He also had an orchestra there that was playing the music of Final Fantasy Rebirth. And it was. I've talked about these in the past. I really,
it wasn't
really
Uematsu though, was it?
And he was not conducting. No.
But it was his score.
One of the songwriters was there. I can't remember which one it was, but it wasn't Uematsu.
No, I don't think he did any on the Rebirth. They just used his old score. And
it was kind of
changed it up.
Different arrangements and everything. But
he still got paid for it though, didn't he?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and really good fun. As always, I went with my mother, who has no idea really about Final Fantasy other than it's a game that I love to play.
Mom, as if you don't know who Vincent is.
I know. She did like Vincent actually.
Everyone does. Matt Mercer.
She really enjoys it. She's there for the and it's just the music of Final Fantasy is just it's unparalleled.
7's got one of the best soundtracks.
How many times did you cry?
1.5.
Cosmo and Aerith?
Yes.
I think the actual prelude, the Final Fantasy anthem, the song.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, they didn't do that one. But they did. So it started with the actual intro to the game, and they played along to the intro live.
Yeah.
That was great. And then they kind of because they've got the screen up above it as well, so you can see the clips from the game. So you're not just sat there looking at the orchestra, which is kind of a double-edged sword because sometimes you're just looking at the game and thinking, I should be looking at these incredible musicians, but they're just so they're all, and it was the Maid of Vale choir as well, and they're all just so pitch perfect.
So rough.
That you just forget. You just forget that it's a like I would almost like to hear the odd twang or someone hitting a bum note but no, it was just absolutely incredible.
About 10 years ago, I saw the Black Mages, which is Nobuo Uematsu's metal band. I saw them, and that's wild when you see a 50-year-old fucking Japanese 4-foot composer shredding on a guitar.
Speaking of, just a quick tangent. Speaking of composers and metal, did you catch the song after this week's Ring of Power?
Yeah.
Badass. The Orc one.
Yeah. Orc metal. Yeah. Fucking great.
Sweet.
Yeah. It was really good.
Orc black metal.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So we've had dwarf metal, we now have orc metal.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. I'm into it. It's
Goblin metal. Get in Necrogoblicon.
Oh, yeah.
That is a band, metal. Candy. That is a real band.
I do that every third weekend.
Necrogoblicon, even the goblin's not even the singer. He's just a goblin that hangs about on stage. I think he bangs a drum now and again. He's just a goblin that runs around.
He's a bit like Bez.
Yeah, he's just a goblin.
So several members of Slipknot.
That is a weird band.
Fun though.
But he does all the talking at the press junkets and stuff.
I am the elected goblin of this outfit.
I am the Necrogoblicon.
Please, everyone else, be quiet.
It's a strange band. You brought that back into my head. Yeah, I saw them at Leeds Met University.
Rolls off the tongue really well. Necrogoblicon.
Have you ever seen a yellow goblin running around Leeds Met University before? I have.
It's fresh as week.
Yeah, I was going to say that happens pretty often, I think, at most unis. The main thing I played a game that I'm sure all of you will have played. And I use the term game fairly loosely because I played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Oh, yes, I've played that.
I have played it also.
Yes.
So the reason, for the sake of our listeners then, the reason I say it's a game kind of in name only, really, is that all you have to do is
move
and occasionally hit X, and that's it. So the lack of gameplay, if you're an impatient person, you're not going to enjoy this game.
The lack of running.
There is
a run button.
Well, but it barely does anything. Yeah, it barely does anything. It can be painfully slow at times. However, what it does make up for is the narrative and it's set in England, which is rare for a game. It's made by the Chinese Room, which is I think they're based in Brighton. I think they're a Sumo Digital company.
Yeah.
It's a British company that made it.
It's set in like the Cotswolds or something, isn't it?
Shropshire.
Shropshire, that's
Shroppers.
fucking. It's
Yeah,
all London to me.
Close enough. So and you don't even know who you are as a player. I think you're just
You're just a camera.
yeah, you're just there to witness the memories of what has happened. So this you enter into this world, and it's set in several villages that are quite close together. No one's there. What you do get are these kind of echoes of the past, and from that you're kind of piecing together what happened. Everyone's just kind of disappeared, and it focuses on a kind of a handful of main characters and their relationships with other people, and how they're dealing with loss and how they're dealing with confusion and grief and not really knowing, because the government is saying that there's this flu going around. And it's causing people to have nosebleeds and kind of pressure headaches, and they start bleeding out, and other people are just disappearing. In the meantime, you're hearing these other characters who do kind of a couple that a pair of scientists that do sort of know what's going on, and what's happened is this kind of alien presence has come down and is causing this rapture, shall we say. It's only sort of a 4 or 5 hour game. I think it's about 6 different chapters.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not going to be for everyone. I personally really enjoyed it once I got over the first chapter and really realized kind of what the game is. It's just it's a thinker. It's not an action game.
It is a thinker.
Yeah, you could just as easily watch a playthrough on YouTube and get just as much out of it. The emotional...
It is really cheap to buy, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think...
pennies.
Yeah, it is. But again, it's penny. If it's not going to be your kind of game, don't bother. Watch it on YouTube. I think one of the highlights is the music. Like, there's such... kind of such emotional peaks, and that ties in with the... Like, it's a kind of choral, classical... And it really kind of tugs at your emotions and everything. So it's
made me
like
cry about 3 times.
Yeah, it's my cup of tea, exactly. And you're just seeing like this handful of characters, and you're seeing their final moments and what they were thinking during the last couple of days and hours of their lives, and just the moments where they're being raptured, kind of thing. What's going through their minds, and just it's a bit of a study on the human condition and what's
it is.
You know, it's.
I always thought when I were playing it, this would have made a better book.
I thought the exact same thing. It would a short story.
Because I hated playing it, but I liked the story.
You should try the new game, Candy. Still Wakes the Deep.
I still want to play that. I still want to play that.
It's just downloading it's on Game Pass at the moment. It still Wakes the Deep, and I haven't played Dear Esther either. So I think
Dear Esther is more about prose and poetry. So you've got to really be in the mood for that one.
Yeah, well, even so, I think just playing games that aren't shooty bang bangs.
I love walking sims. I fucking
love them, but they've got to hit you right. Everyone's gone to Rapture. I gave up on.
I know a lot of people that gave up on it, but I think it's got a good reason to carry on.
Is it called Fly Me to the Moon?
Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah,
that had a good premise, but I just couldn't. It's like if the story.
None of them are Edith Finch, are there? None of them.
Yeah, Edith Finch was great. Firewatch is brilliant.
Firewatch.
And yeah, I want to play Dear Esther. I've got that to play. I've played Still Wakes the Deep.
Don't play their take on Amnesia. They did the second Amnesia game. It's not very good.
Yeah, I heard that.
They could be hit and miss, but I love a good one. Like when they're good, they're great.
They're also now the chief developer on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
That's a good sign. That means there's going to be a lot of chatting in it. Up for that.
Stanley
cool.
Parable's kind of a walk-in sim.
I'm with Candy though. I do kind of recommend it. I don't love it, but it's just bad gameplay, isn't it?
Yeah, or lack of gameplay whatsoever, really. But I think like on a cozy night or two where you've got nothing else to do, really.
Did you just fancy playing something when you know you can't die?
Really chill, just really chill. And it's something like I've heard the music from it through some of the radio stations that I listen to. And I was like, I need to play this game, and I saw it. Do you know, I don't even know what. I think we might have mentioned it. I tell you what it was. We mentioned it because we were talking about Atomfall recently, and we were talking about games set in the UK. And it came up. I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to play that. So the time I'm doing my best to do as little as possible at the moment because I'm fucking exhausted. So the time was there, and
she's strictly playing UK games. Next week she's going to review Forza. She's bombing around the same village.
Colin McRae. Yeah.
The Vanishing of Ethan.
Colin McRae.
The Vanishing of Ethan Carter was quite well received as well, wasn't it?
I like that. That was good. That was good.
Have you played Firewatch?
No.
Oh, right.
Don't say anything.
That's your next
Don't say
one.
anything.
Seriously.
Play it.
Firewatch. Okay.
Firewatch
Just fucking
is
play it.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Firewatch is essential in that genre. Cool. Gadget finishes off with some Vince McMahon.
Yeah, so a couple of things this week. I picked up Starfield again because the DLC comes out this week. So
I saw your TikTok about it.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, the game's not perfect. It has some criticisms, but it's had some updates since I last played it. It's now 60 frames a second on Xbox Series X, which is nice.
Whee.
You can get a car to bomb around on planets, which is nice. Stops you fucking walking for ages.
Some of them planets are dull.
Some of the planets are dull, so being able to just like hop in your car when you get out of your ship and bomb over to where you need to be. Fine, brilliant, love it, great move. I'm doing some, because I'm in New Game Plus, I've kind of skipped the story and I'm just doing like side questy stuff that I never saw the first time around. And it's good. It's like, I was saying to Candy about this, it's like putting on a comfortable pair of shoes. Like, what I didn't really appreciate the first time I played Starfield is that it does feel so much like Fallout 4 that it's just like instantly the muscle memory was back of what to do, where to go, what buttons do what, and all that. And like I was aiming in the right way because it aims like Fallout 4, and it's just like, it was, oh, this is comfy, this is fun, this is nice. It's still glitchy as fucking places, and it's funny. And
I was going to say, ironically, I picked it back up and then put it back down again because I loaded in and there were just so many bugs happening. Like my guns wouldn't fire, that the engines on my ship weren't thrusting. It's
because you didn't sync your watch with it.
Yeah, you didn't sync it. Yeah.
I undug the watch, actually. It's just come out of one of my boxes. But I'm not sure that I'm going to play Shattered Space.
Why does everyone use
Shattered Space?
Shattered Space. Anyway, yeah.
I'm not sure.
But it's space horror, Candy.
I know.
It's wibbly shit. It's the House of Varun.
Yeah, I probably just need to spend a little bit more time getting back into the
You
swing
bought a fucking Starfield controller. How can you not play Starfield?
Cool.
Tell you what, Candy, why don't you just boot up Skyrim?
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Me and Skyrim Grandma can exchange
Fuss
notes.
Rudder! Fuck it.
But yeah, it was nice to get back to that. I finally got out my second YouTube video, so if you're interested in EVE Online, go look at that. I'll put the link in the description. It's done really well. People have enjoyed it. Oodles Balatro to it.
Yeah, it helped me beat Balatro my first run on my phone. I was like, yes, cheers, Gadget. I tell you what though, I did watch your video, mate, and I didn't know. And I like watching videos at EVE Online, but because you used your own gameplay and you don't do anything but mining. I was like, what's going off? What's he doing? He's just circling a planet, mining it.
Yeah.
But
what
your
I do in
actual
EVE
pros, your actual script was sensational.
Well, that's what people are there for as well, isn't it? Like the video is kind of secondary.
But he's not one of them YouTubers that steal other people's fucking...
Yeah.
He actually puts the work in. So if that's what he likes to do, that's what you're going to fucking see.
Yeah, the only footage that I didn't use that wasn't mine was the video footage that CCP put out on that big battle
which you
credited. I talk about, which I credited. And then some trailer footage in the intro. But yeah, it's had a really good reception, so people have enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description if you got any interest at all in EVE Online. Ironically enough, I've spent so much time editing that video, I haven't played EVE Online at all this month.
It's the trouble, isn't it? It's a dichotomy.
It is.
But yeah, the main thing I've done this week is I've been watching the new Netflix documentary called Mr. McMahon about Vince McMahon, the owner of WWE.
We've never spoken about him on this podcast.
Now, I'll go in. I've watched. It's a limited series, so there's 6 episodes. I've watched 4. I haven't finished it off yet. I know Stig's watched it all. So it's a strange documentary. It's basically covering in very, very quick detail most of Vince's history, as he joined the WWF, as it was back then, when his father ran it, and he joined it as little Vinny Jr., and was basically a ring announcer, all the way through to the modern age, and through all the controversies and all the various screw jobs and how he fucked over wrestlers and the horrible things that he'd done to a lot of people and how he's managed to get away.
Mainly women.
Largely consequence-free. Vince McMahon himself is in the documentary. He is interviewed throughout, which is quite interesting because the man is such a weird narcissist that he will present one version of reality, and then the way the documentary is edited, it will cut to other people saying, no, he did not do that, or yes, he definitely did that if he's denied something.
It's like the bit where they say, he says, Mr. McMahon was just a character I played on TV. I'm nothing like Mr. McMahon. And then it cuts to everyone else going, oh yeah, Mr. McMahon and Vince are exactly the same. Mr. McMahon, the character, is just Vince turned up to 11. And they all say that and he's just there going, no, it's not me. But the way the man literally cannot take blame for anything is just, it is just classic narcissism.
It is. There is a moment that's particularly telling. I was texting with Stig about it. There's quite a famous story about Rita Chatterton, who was the first female referee in pro wrestling. And it was a big thing. Like, she was on all the TV shows and all that. And, it was a huge thing that it was this kind of tiny little blonde woman was pushing around these enormous wrestlers and controlling the ring. And she was really good at it. And Vince did bad things.
Oh.
And ultimately she was ejected from the sport. And when Vince is talking about it in his kind of Vox Pop interview thing, he says, I never did it. I never did anything like that. But even if I did, the statute of limitations is over on that. It's just don't say that. That's bad. Basically, you admit, if you're aware of the statute of limitations on it, you've done it.
The whole documentary starts with a disclaimer saying all these interviews were conducted before the allegations of the sexual assault and the sex trafficking came out. It basically tells you this was all conducted before these allegations came out this year. And then it cuts to him basically saying, I wish I could tell you some of the real shit. And they're like, are you gonna? And he's like, no, I can't tell you any about like that. Like, he's already hiding things and keeping things close to his chest. Like,
there's even quite an interesting moment in the opening scene where it's like in the middle of one of his interviews for the documentary, he has to because he's basically sat in a chair in a ring in a training room. He actually gets up and goes, and they put a caption on saying this is when Vince found out that there's a lawsuit being put against him because of hush money payments.
Mm-hmm.
It was filmed at quite a turbulent time, but it does talk to a lot of wrestlers from kind of the especially the Raw, not the Raw, the Attitude Era, a lot of the big wrestlers that you would recognize. So it's they talk to Hulk Hogan, they talk to The Rock, Steve Austin, John Cena, Bret Hart, Triple H, The Undertaker. They talk to Eric Bischoff from WCW, and then Paul Heyman, Shawn Michaels, and Kay Klopovitz, who was the founder of the network that WWF was on originally. And it's just really interesting. It's a well-made documentary. It was done by the people who made Tiger King, and I was kind of expecting it to be a bit of sensationalist drivel. But it's really well put together and presents things in a very factual light. It doesn't appear as sensationalist as it was, as Tiger King was.
They're doing good with documentaries, that company.
Yeah. The last episode I watched, which was the 4th episode, talks about the Attitude Era. And so I did watch wrestling during the Attitude Era, but my memories of it is kind of a bit hazy. I did not realise how kind of sexually aggressive it was back then, and how obviously I knew about the divas.
The divas.
No, but they show clips of when the cameras are backstage and they're simulating a woman being forcibly undressed and stuff like that. Really awful shit that you wouldn't get away with on TV today, and it's amazing that they got away with it back then. But it finishes off talking about Owen Hart's death. Jesus Christ, that's hard to watch because they're interviewing Bret Hart in it as well. And watching him talk about Owen's hard. because he misses his brother. So yeah, this is a really good documentary series. I've been very much enjoying it.
I'm going to start it this week.
And it's like the thing, I don't really care for wrestling to watch, but I really, this background stuff always fascinates.
Behind wrestling,
the politics is great. Yeah.
So that's the main thing. I know about everything in this documentary.
Expert.
Like literally, like I could have told you, I could have wrote a list down of what this documentary will talk about and what it'll cover, and it covers all of that. It doesn't cover enough. For my liking, it doesn't.
No, you're going to need like an 18-part series.
It doesn't cover Vince's upbringing. Like he was estranged from his dad until he was about 12. He was beaten.
It mentions it briefly. I
think he was beaten by his stepdad, sexually assaulted by his mother, and all of that kind of just is kind of shoved under the thing. And but it also just the way his dad was, kind of shut you. I'm not sticking up for Vince McMahon here, but I can see why he is the way he is, due to his upbringing and due to the way his father was with him, why he's so standoffish with his own children. Like, you haven't got to the episode yet. The next one is called Family Business. It starts to talk about Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon.
Right.
And how much Shane just literally just begs for approval from his dad. Like, and he's just done, Vince McMahon has just done what his dad did to him. This is how my dad treated me, so this is how I should treat my son. Like, you have to earn your respect, you have to earn your way in life. Like, nothing's given it to you. And
he doesn't strike me as the most loving of fathers.
No, he's not at all. You can see that with, like, he even talks about how his dad he only recalls his dad ever saying he loved him once, and that's when his dad was on his like deathbed.
Yeah,
once, lucky.
Yeah. So it doesn't cover a lot of stuff. That it kind of skips through. It talks about Chris Benoit, but it kind of skips through that era. It doesn't cover it with Eddie Guerrero. Doesn't cover any of that. They barely mention. They talk about. I don't want to spoil anything, Gadget, because I can't remember which episodes are which. But there's mention of like why so many wrestlers die young. Vince takes no responsibility for that. He's like, oh, well, if they want to do steroids and take painkillers, that's on them. It's like, no, you had them working like nearly every single day of the year.
You had 300 shows a year they were doing.
They were doing something like 10 days on, 3 days off for the whole year. And back when in the 80s and early 90s, if you didn't work, you didn't get paid. So people just pushed themselves through it. I have to get paid. If I don't get paid, then what am I going to do? If I have an injury or if I'm hurt and it keeps me out for 6 weeks, fuck, that's my purse. You know, like I'm losing out. Well, how do I get through that? Smash a load of painkillers. What happens when you smash a load of painkillers? You become addicted to them. Like, all these wrestlers, it's telling that so many wrestlers from the 80s and 90s died before they were 50.
Yeah.
Full of drugs. Full of steroids, full of... And Vince McMahon does not take any responsibility for being a part of that.
I do love this chat. I'm conscious of time. Gadget, do you recommend it?
I do recommend it. It's definitely one for the civilian viewer. So like I say, it's not giving anything new for someone like Stig who knows it all. But like I just recently listened to that Ringmaster book and then watched this. It's a good companion to something like that because Ringmaster goes into a lot more detail of like before he became Vince McMahon, when he was Vinnie Lupton and when he was a kid and stuff like that. But that skips over a lot of the last 20 years. It basically has all the detail up to the end of the Attitude Era, whereas this has more detail beyond the Attitude Era. So
okay,
it covers a lot of stuff after the lawsuit comes out as well. He refused to return to do any more interviews once that came out this last year. So the whole last episode is basically covered by journalists, and Bruce Pritchard comes back.
Oh, nice.
And for a few words and stuff. But yeah, I mean, this literally, despite me knowing all this, it made me shout at the TV, fuck off, Vince. Like, at some of the stuff that he was saying.
I've said that a few times.
Yeah, like, just fuck off. Like, he's a horrible, horrible man. But it's a great watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. It's been a long episode. Have we got any feedback?
We do. We do. We have a load of listener feedback. No, because we're starting with Xenos.
Fuck's sake. They're getting a bumper edition tonight.
Fucking patented Xenos wall of text here. This week, I am become speed loader of games because I finally got an SSD to put my things on, and holy shit, it's making things so much faster. Where's Biggie when you need him? He'd be going fucking mental.
Creaming his pants right now. His ears are pricking up somewhere. Expandable storage.
I run my Steam library off an external hard drive, and moving most of my bigger games to it has sped up loading time so much that I can't really play Switch games during loading screens anymore, which is unfortunate because I've also started playing The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and I can't fit it in while waiting for Cyberpunk to finish loading. It's been fun so far. The puzzle design allowing you to solve things more or less however you want with your current tools means you can do all kinds of weirdness as long as it works. I didn't play the Link's Awakening remake, but the art style is absolutely charming. I've seen reports of frame rate issues but not encountered any of that myself. Looking forward to playing more of it next week. And back on to the extremely fast loading note, Remnant 2 has had its third and possibly final DLC. The Dark Horizon dropped this week. And having more than half the load time on it, I've been able to play slightly more of it than the other DLCs. This one's a bit lower on story content because we're back on the post-apocalyptic planet ship Nerude, where nobody is really alive to talk to. However, there is an entity very determined to talk to you about the inevitability of entropy and your eventual death, because that's the kind of thing that can fuck right off. We've been finally given the chance to shoot the avatar of a black hole in the face? I guess it doesn't really have a face.
Do that.
Nonetheless, I shot it, and now I have a pair of gloves that allow me to pretend I'm Goku and shoot giant energy beams out of my hands. The new class for this one's called Warden, has a mechanical drone which can shield or heal allies or shoot things for you. Generally decent support. But I have seen complaints about it floating in front of players and getting in the way of their explosives. Finally, Remnant also added a free update which has implemented boss rush mode, and oh boy, it's a rush. Your options are 3 randomly selected bosses, 6 random bosses followed by the final boss of the main story, and 19 bosses with a final boss going last. That last option is absolutely grueling, and unfortunately with the game currently having some netcode issues, we got all the way through and then had to count it as a defeat for 2 of our 3 players, even though one of them was still standing and killed the last boss. Unfortunate, but generally been a fun way to test our builds and new ideas for them.
It's a good game.
You go back to Remnant 2 then for more DLC?
No, I didn't finish first DLC I bought. I bought the pass. I can't remember how to play it. It's been too long.
Next up we've got Kieran. Hello, chums. That's how Kieran sounds. You got pal Kieran here.
It's like hello,
he don't talk
hello,
like that
chums.
at all. He don't talk like that at all.
Just listen to episode 204 after missing a couple. Blinder of an episode, as per. Regarding the part about moving to America, what Oodles said about sticking to the coast reminded me of something I heard a long time ago. My dad went climbing the Rocky Mountains of Colorado a fair number of years ago and came back with a theory that was posited to him by a man he met in a pub over there. The reason the craziest of the crazy seem to come from the more middle parts of America, while people are more liberal on the coasts, is because the calming influence of the ocean. I'm sure there are tons of exceptions, such as Alaska, remember Sarah Palin, but as a generalisation, I think it sounds on the money. Like Gadget, that's me. I've been playing Frostpunk 2. I'm not really into these sorts of management sim type games, but that's mostly because I'm terrible at them. But Frostpunk 2's aesthetic, and the things I heard happen in it, and the setting, Snowpiercer anyone, has made me definitely want to give it a go. I've only done the prologue and a few hours of Chapter 1, but I'm very much enjoying it, and will continue until it likely overwhelms me and I relinquish the rule of steward to some other poor bugger. Other than that, the only game I've played recently is Space Marine 2, but I think that's been talked to death now. What I will say is I'm very happy that the wide appeal of Space Marine 2 has resulted in me able to talk ad nauseum to people about useless 40k lore that I've managed to fill my brain with, instead of things that would actually help me in life, like how long to poach an egg for without having to Google it every time. Remember, the children yearn for the mines.
Sorry, going back to the seaside calming influence, have you ever met a seagull? They're the least calm creatures on this earth.
He means humans.
Speaking of the seaside calming influence, have you ever met Candy?
Yeah. I'm closer to the sea now, and I'm less calm than I've ever been in my entire life.
I thought you were going to say I'm closer to the seagull.
Yeah.
And them.
This is one singular seagull with orange hair.
She will stab you for your pasty.
Next up, Oodles' heterosexual life partner, Bobby Wayne.
Aye.
Are you listening, Oodles? Your friend's talking.
Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry, I'm.
Are you playing Balatro? You're playing Balatro again, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm texting someone.
Is it Bobby Wayne? Are you trying?
No, it's work related at this time of night.
Organising a bit of a bum around the back of the bike sheds.
No,
we know they're bumming all the time. Those two, you know it.
We know.
Look, he's blushing and everything. Anyway,
He won't let me.
Bobby Wayne has said, "This week I've made it to Act 3 on Baldur's Gate. I've barely started and it feels like there's so much more to do in the previous acts and I'm still loving it." Yeah, Act 3's fucking massive.
Hated it.
I know you did.
I hated Act 3 so much.
I've also been watching Tulsa King, the Paramount Plus crime series. Sylvester Stallone, oh god, plays Dwight Manfredi, a mafia capo freshly released from a 25-year prison sentence after taking the fall for a murder committed by his boss. I played a Yakuza game like this. On release, he finds the world has changed and the mafia family he sacrificed so much for no longer has room for him, and he's ordered to set up operations in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is literally
He's like a dragon.
This is like a dragon.
That's like a dragon. That's Ichiban's story altogether.
Stallone plays exactly who you'd expect.
Does Stallone have an afro in there?
Stallone does have a big, massive back tattoo.
Stallone plays exactly who you'd expect. A confident, intelligent, strong, charismatic character. But it's the supporting cast that really makes the show enjoyable. From the mob boss's son vying for power, played by Dominic Lombardozzi.
You don't know what it was like in the clink. You don't know what it was like in the clink.
To the reluctant business partner of Manfredi, played by Martin Starr. There's some really great performances, and while the story isn't trailblazing or original, it is, in my eyes, a decent TV if you're looking for something simple. It also makes me feel incredibly self-conscious about the shape I'm in compared to a 78-year-old man. Stallone definitely carries himself well for an older man.
Yeah, you're in good shape, Bobby. Don't worry, mate.
He says, lots of love. If denied, still true, Bobby.
IDST.
Last up, Best Boy Kurt Lewin. He says, hi, Emmy crew. This week was a big film and TV week for me. The first film I watched was Master and Commander from the Backpage Pod, who were covering it alongside Gladiator as a dad film theme. I quite enjoyed it.
What's that supposed to mean?
The dad films, the films that
they're so old now that we're dads and we watch them.
How can I say?
You know, you know how on Father's Day, like, you get the best dad rock album and it's got Sum 41 and Blink-182 on it.
Yeah.
Oh, stop
it.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
The music that we grew up listening to is now dad rock.
Dad rock. Fucking hell.
I don't think the music I listen to is considered dad rock. I think it's considered satanic.
Avril Lavigne is dad rock. Bowling for Soup.
Maybe
dad
satanic
rock.
dad rock then.
OK Go or dad rock now. I mean, to be fair, they were always dad rock, but anyway. I quite enjoyed it. A great spectacle and good characters. I came away thinking they don't make them like this anymore. There's a reason for that, because it was expensive and people got injured a lot because they bought a fucking boat for it.
It's a good film.
It is a good film. Next up was the 1993 Super Mario Brothers film, which I watched for never watchers, but I'll save my thoughts on that for the podcast. Or you could look up my Letterboxd rating for an idea. If it's anything above a 1-star, Kurt, I'm going to have words with you.
I bet it's put 5 out of 5 masterpiece.
Finally, I watched the new Apple TV film Wolves. I keep wanting to say Wolves, but it's Wolves, isn't it?
I know. Why is it Wolves? We are an apostrophe.
I thought it was a 3-star film. The dynamic between Brad Pitt and George Clooney was really good, but I was expecting it to be more of a comedy than it was, and the rest of the film was so-so.
That's what Stig said.
Pretty much. TV-wise, I watched the documentary Sven about the sadly no longer with Sven Goran Eriksson.
Oh.
An interesting watch covering his whole career with a particular focus on his time as the England manager. I then watched the Series 99 about the Man United treble winners team. Don't get me wrong, I despise Man United more than any other team, including Forest and Leeds. But this was an interesting watch. He did say Forest first. It's clearly higher up in the hatred.
Yeah, because
he's
there's a hierarchy to hatred. Fuck Derby.
But this was an interesting watch. I thought I had heard everything about that team in the season from reading about it over the years, so I was pleasantly surprised to hear about some new stuff from the players and coaching staff about that season.
I'm not watching anything with Man United in it. I can't do it. I watch alt football documentaries, but never Man U ones.
I've never watched a football documentary. My Amazon Prime keeps throwing up these Sven Goran Eriksson 99 things. So I don't watch football!
Mint, mate. Some of them are fucking mint.
Or like, come on and say, do you want to watch Man City versus Valencia? I'm like, no. Why?
Yes.
Has anything in my browsing history on Amazon Prime ever suggested I would want to watch this?
I reckon we could get him into football, Stig.
Fuck off.
Yeah. We'll get him into it. Treat it like Pokemon cards or some kind of trading card game.
No.
There's loads of stats, Gadget. There's loads of tables.
I know, but like, if I want to watch a sport where it's people going end to end, I'll either watch basketball or ice hockey. At least with ice hockey, you get fights and people could get their head cut off.
You get fights in football, mate.
Oh yeah. You get fights. They get a fucking wind goes past them and they fall to the ground holding their face open to get a card.
You wouldn't have been saying that when Zidane's fucking square kicking, headbutting you, and fucking Cantona's fucking scissor kicking you.
Oh yeah, two long retired French players who aren't in the sport anymore.
Yes.
Those are your examples of
but the thing is, Gadget, you have to start from season 1, so you're about 30 years behind.
That's halfway through season 5 when that happens.
No, like fucking Newcastle was set up in 1892. If I want to go back to
season 1,
it's
one of the football show
Premier
is
League.
when England won the World Cup. It's 66. That's season 1, episode 1. England win.
I've seen a few seasons of it. I was 95 to 99. I was into it back when Newcastle were the entertainers.
The horse punching days.
No, the horse punching days was 2010s.
Yeah, well, they've always been punching horses, them fuckers. Newcastle. Fucking Newcastle. Carry on.
That's it. You Yorkshire twat.
As always, links to all our extracurricular activities in the show notes and in our Discord. That's where it is. That's where the magic is. Pure magic. I'm not going to go on about it because fucking hell. 2 hours, 18 minutes. Candyland!
And now, what's up in Candyland?
I'm doing something a bit different today. We are taking a step away from Candyland and doing a very, very quick smash that glass because I've found a woman that is
It's
so
back.
fucking cool. I need to talk about her. So, Jane
My
Wu,
wife.
who is the producer and supervising director of Blue Eye Samurai. I fell down a Blue Eye Samurai hole. I wanted to know everything about the
You
animation.
warned us last week that you would.
I know. I wanted to know about everything, the making of, the animation, the director. This brought me to Jane Wu, who is the most incredibly skilled person and coolest person on the planet, I've decided. So she started her career in fashion. She was a fashion designer, left fashion because while she loved fashion, she didn't love the fashion design world. She sent a portfolio in to Sony, kind of forgotten about it. And Sony contacted her 9 months later saying that they wanted her to be a storyboard artist. So she's done storyboards for shows such as Men in Black, so the animated series, and Godzilla, Mulan, various other things. But she had this vision that she wanted to combine live action with animation, which is where Blue Eye Samurai come from. Okay. And it's not the 3D. They've been using a 20-year-old 3DS Max suite, so it wasn't even brand new stuff. However, this is where the cool parts. So she, as a storyboard artist, they wanted her to become a character designer as well because she had the background in fashion. She's half Chinese, so she knows the kimonos and everything. Even though they're Japanese, she knows a lot about the culture of the Japanese culture.
There is a crossover with that culture.
Mm-hmm, yeah, of course. So she came up with this vision of crossing over 3D animation and 2D animation, which isn't anything new. However, she also... Oh, and I should say when she was in college, she also owned a comic book shop, which sold exclusively Marvel comics that she had read. So when she got to work for Marvel, great.
There was 3 comics in there. She's only read 3.
So when it came to Blue Eye Samurai, she herself is a martial artist, and I didn't realize this before. I should have commented on it last week when I was talking about it. But all the action sequences were done live with stunt people, and then like motion captured. So all the stunts and everything you see were actually done, and she being a martial artist herself, it was really important for her for the martial arts and the sword fight and everything for it to be accurate.
That's awesome.
She was teaching the actors. She was teaching the animators. She personally was giving them martial arts classes. Coolest fucking person in the oh my god, the girl's going places.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. That's fantastic.
But I don't know what a supervising director does, which would be different from a director. But she's a producer as well, so this
isn't the supervising director the second in command to a director?
Probably, but this is
I think so.
But because she's a producer, obviously, Blue Eye Samurai is probably her baby.
I mean, everyone knows producers do all the work on a film.
Well, they certainly fund it, don't they? A lot of the time.
Yeah, they do everything.
Yeah.
The director goes, "I don't like the look of that." Mm-hmm. Next.
I think a supervising director is the one that has the. When you have a director and a supervisor, I think a supervising director is the one with the actual creative vision, and the director is the one that makes it happen.
Visionary.
Well, that certainly
makes it happen. Yeah.
There's a couple of mini documentaries on YouTube about the making of the making of, and then the animation behind it as well. But there's a couple of really good interviews with her as well, and she's just really, really cool, really interesting person, and you'll just be jealous of the creature that she is. She's a unicorn of this life.
I've been called that before. Oh no, unicorn. Never mind. Excellent. I like that. I like a little difference in the old kind of land. Let's fucking smash that glass. Thank you for listening. If you are not a patron, this is the end, and you've had enough. Fucking hell, you've had enough. This episode. The patrons are gonna get even more in a minute. But yeah, ta-da.
Bye.
That's all. It just comes to me every now and again. Just Hercules.
Best scene in that film.
It's a pretty shit film.
Yeah, I know, but that scene is great. It's like
five
Eddie Murphy's just all like going nuts, and then that little fat kid.
Yeah, screaming his head off.
Was that his nephew or something like that?
Yeah, he's not actually a fat kid anymore. He's a massive, muscly black guy.